Visit lifeguardimaging.com now. If not for you, do it for your loved ones. Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection.
Furman Chevrolet in Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 Chevy dealer. What makes us #1? At Furman Chevy Brandon, we say yes. Yes to having Tampa Bay's largest new Chevy inventory. Yes to paying top dollar for your trade. And right now, we say yes to 0% APR for 60 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Chevy Tahoe or Suburban. Come see why we are #1. Visit us on Adamo Drive in Brandon or online at FurmanChevy.com. Furman Chevy Brandon. Together, let's drive.
Cox Media Group is an equal opportunity employer. In accordance with the FCC's EEO regulations, any organization that distributes information about employment opportunities to job seekers or refers job seekers to employers may request that it be provided notice of Cox Media Group job vacancies as they occur. If your organization would like to be notified of such vacancies, please contact Olivia Romano, Cox Media Group, 11300 4th Street North, number 300, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33716, or at olivia.romano@cmg.com. Each organization that wishes to be given notice of job vacancies must provide its name, mailing address, email address if applicable, telephone number, contact person, and identify the category or categories of vacancies of which it requests notice. An organization may request notice of all vacancies.
At Brandon Honda, we have lenders for every credit situation. Good credit, bad credit, no credit, no problem. Hi, I'm Sam Robbie. Right now at Brandon Honda, get 0 down deals on any new vehicle in stock. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. And we'll pay off your trade no matter how much you owe. We have over 600 vehicles to choose from and over 50 lenders, all competing to get you the best deal possible. Get your guaranteed credit approval at BrandonHonda.com.
Call 813-280-0850 for more information.
John Senning here for Furman Ford, Clearwater's big Ford store. If you've been waiting, trying to figure out that perfect moment to buy a new truck or SUV, guess what? That time is now. For a limited time only, Ford Motor Company is offering employee pricing for all across a full line of trucks and SUVs. Now, what does that mean for you, you might ask? That means you're going to pay exactly what a Ford employee pays. This is an unprecedented opportunity that's going to give you massive savings on some of America's best-selling vehicles. Go see Bob Murray and my friends at Furman Ford today. They've got that brand new, big, beautiful showroom you've got to see to believe right on US 19 in Clearwater. You can even check them out online at FurmanFord.com. Furman Ford, from America, for America. Make sure you let them know that John Senning sent you.
It's the start of a new season of Raise deals, and they're so good, even Raymond is buying. Drive a new Honda Pilot, just $419 per month, or a new Honda Accord, just $319 per month. Even Raymond is buying. It's the start of a new season of Raise deals. Don't miss out. Claim your Raise deal today at Crown Honda, the better way to buy and service. Call 800-509-4942 for complete details.
Avoid the stress of preparing to sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You can skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home fast and for maximum value. Mark, how does the guaranteed offer take the hassle out of selling a home while still providing a strong cash offer?
The guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home because it's first all cash. There's no crazy contingencies. And guess what? You don't have to have Sunday open houses. We bring you a very strong cash offer. You can close in as little as 21 days, stress-free, so you can move on to the next chapter of your life, hassle-free. It's that simple.
So you're saying I can skip the hassle of showings, avoid costly repairs, and still receive the strongest cash offer in the industry? Now that's the stress-free home selling experience I want when it comes time for me to sell. Mark Spain Real Estate has been serving families for nearly 30 years and has helped over 67,500 satisfied clients. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for the most money. Go to markspain.com and find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. There is no obligation. That's markspain.com and start packing.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
1025 The Bone. Wheel Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 107.3 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio.
My name is Drew. Pronounced with the O.
It's in your face with Drew Garabo.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
the Bone Studios in St. Petersburg, Florida. It's Drew Garabo, live.
Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this?
It's true. Good afternoon. My name is Drew Garabo. We are live at Amalie Arena for this evening's big Game 2. Florida Panthers, intrastate rivals of your Tampa Bay Lightning. Intra means within the state. Interstate means outside the state. Intrastate rivals, the Florida Panthers, who took Game 1 in commanding fashion, 1-0. The good news, we weren't going to sweep these little kitty cats anyway, so we might as well have lost the first game since we're going to win 4-1 now. The bad news, it wasn't a close game. There wasn't a single element that the Tampa Bay Lightning can look at from Game 1 and go, oh, we did this particularly well. There wasn't a single thing that I believe we did well. It stands to reason then that Coach Cooper will have gotten this team motivated, focused, and ready for Game 2, which I believe gets underway shortly after 6:30 this evening. A revolving door of guests will join us. Corey Cardinal is at the table with me, and I believe Maurice is back in beautiful St. Petersburg. Hello, Maurice.
Don't call it a comeback, Drew. We've been here for years.
That's right, rocking our peers and keeping suckers in fear, making them tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to them bolts go boom.
Woo!
We'll be talking to, which is very interesting that you brought that reference up, because today in history, I believe it was about 8 years ago, I spoke with Ladies Love Cool James himself, James Todd Smith, better known to the world as LL Cool J, on this here radio station. So the LL Mama Said Knock You Out lyric, quite appropriate.
Nice.
Indeed. It is also the Dirty Dozen anniversary of the greatest gifts that the radio gods have ever bestowed upon me, other than John Senning, of course. And I can't go into it today due to my respect for the Lightning's brand. However, tomorrow we will have a proper celebration. It's much like when George Washington has President's Day observed as opposed to his actual birthday. We will observe a holiday tomorrow that commemorates a phenomenal gift that was given to me. You can check my social media. I think the Drew Garabo Live Facebook page, I put a post up about it. It was without going into detail, one of the most elated emotions I've ever felt as I was preparing to go on the air with In Your Face with Drew Garabo, studying the news for all kinds of different controversial topics that I could take an extreme opinion on, bait people into calling so that I could lambaste them, labeling them bigots, homophobes, racists, dumb dicks, all the fine things I used to say to these wonderful customers of ours. This story, without giving too much away, appeared to me like a godsend, involving the closing of one particular store at the West Shore Plaza and the opening of another. And that's all I care to say about that. I know we've got Steve Weintraub calling any minute now about some Mother's Day deals they've got going on at Gold and Diamond Source. We love chopping it up with Stevie Diamonds, and we will do so in moments. And then at 4:30, we'll be joined by Dave Randorf, play-by-play dude for your Tampa Bay Lightning. If you're not listening to the game on 102.5 The Bone, which you should be, I mean, who doesn't love Dave Mishkin and Phil Esposito, then you'll be watching on TV where Dave Randorf and Brian Engblom do an incredible job. I left the game the other night in the second period when the Bolts were down 5-1, and I got exactly the Phil Esposito, I thought I was going to get an exasperated, disgusted, flabbergasted Phil Esposito on this radio station. The man is a national treasure. He is over 80 years old, making him an octogenarian, and he is one of the more authentic broadcasters I've ever encountered in my life. And you can tell, as one of the great hockey players that has ever played the game, he has a genuine disdain when the Bolts are not living up to their potential. And getting the car, I did hear the Bolts score their second goal, and it was 5-2, but then quickly 6-2. And, boy, Phil had enough by that point. So I do encourage you to listen to the games on the Bone, both for the skill of Dave Mishkin, a mile-a-minute sport being conveyed right into your ear holes, and then his counterpart, Phil Esposito. I've gotten to a point now where when I watch a game, I kind of take on the identity of a Phil Esposito. I try to, what is he doing there? Pastor, believe it or not, I was starting to go deaf. And people said to me, Phil, what's wrong with you? You can't hear. Audibel is a proud partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. My favorite stuff ever. I'm going to take a sip of water, Maurice.
Yes,
sir. How's the audio? John was saying there was a bit of an echo on your end. Is it good?
No, you're solid, man.
Oh, good. That's what I like to hear. Taking a sip of my favorite bottled water, Aquafina, and it's my favorite because it's currently available to me right now. If it were Zephyr Hills, I'd be saying the same thing. One moment, please. Stand by.
Refreshing.
Is it ever? So, I did read in breaking news right before the show, Shannon Sharp released a statement that he is, quote-unquote, electing to step aside from ESPN while these allegations get worked out. But I can pretty much guarantee you that it was ESPN who elected for Shannon Sharp to take a seat over this violent allegations of assault against an ex. Man, I'll tell you, being famous I guarantee you there are way more downsides to being famous than there are upsides. Like, I don't know anything about this particular case, so I'm not necessarily speaking about the particulars. However, imagine you've got a consensual relationship with someone and one or both of you enjoys things a little bit rough in the bedroom, right? Maybe she likes to be choked a little bit. You like to be demeaned a little bit. You like to be slapped around. You like things a little bit out of the ordinary. You know full well when that relationship ends that you've got someone out there with not just dirt on you, but someone who could position things to make it look like you're an absolute monster. Again, nothing about Shannon Sharp. I don't know anything about the dude. I'm completely ambivalent on him as a broadcaster. I neither like nor dislike him. I'm just saying it would be very easy for any young lady, or old lady for that matter, who was scorned in a relationship to then go to the media, go to the courts and say, look at this text. You might have been role-playing in those texts. You might have been like, yeah, you dirty little girl, when daddy gets home, you're getting choked like you did last night. And then at the time, while you're in a relationship, she might see something like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love when you talk like that. And then as soon as that relationship's over, little clip here, little edit there, and all of a sudden, these texts portray you as an absolute beast. I'll reiterate, not talking about this specific case. I don't know what Shannon Sharp did, if anything. I'm just saying being famous and dating would absolutely stink to high heaven.
Yeah, you are basically within that relationship, the course of it, putting bullets into a magazine that she can then take after you break insert it, and then just take shots at you.
Yeah, completely. And look, there are probably ladies out there with bullets that say Drew Garabo all over them, and yeah, I'm not. I'd like to express my gratitude to all of them for not putting those bullets into a gun and firing them. I love you all, my exes. All of you, you're wonderful. We spent great time together. Sorry about the restraining order on that one case.
Why does this sound?
You tried to run me over in my front yard.
A tad disingenuous.
Oh, no. A tremendous gratitude. Love you all, you beautiful, sexy ladies. I'm sorry it didn't work out between us, but you helped get me ready for a wonderful, fulfilling relationship that I now enjoy with my boo.
Indeed.
So thank you all. I love you all. Please keep those bullets out of the chamber. Do we have Stevie Diamonds on hold yet?
You know what? I
What?
might just have him now. Give me
I bet
one
you do.
moment.
Standing by for Stevie Diamonds of Golden Diamond Source. He is married to Julie, of course. She has hands across the bay, and Stevie's got things that he wants to say about wristbands. They call them bracelets, dummy.
Drew, can
Yes?
I introduce
What?
you to someone?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was just busting out into an improvisational
Oh, I
song
heard.
about my very good friend Steve Weintraub, a.k.a. Stevie Diamonds of Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road in beautiful Clearwater, always online at goldanddiamond.com. Mr. Steve Weintraub. Hi, Steve.
Hey, guys. It feels like forever since the last time we spoke.
That's because it has been forever since the last time we spoke. Steve, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. I'm back in Florida, sunny Florida, working like a dog.
All right.
I'm supposed to be retired, but I guess that's not happening when I'm in Florida anyhow. But I'm doing great. Health's good. Kids are great. Everything's good.
Excellent, man. Glad to hear that. Welcome back. It's going to be sweltering hot this weekend, just in time for your return. I bet bet you'll be yearning for those Park City, Utah summers in no time, Steve.
Yeah, it won't be long. I think I'm leaving here probably the third week of May, so it won't be long. The hummingbirds, I get to watch the hummingbirds and the beautiful weather and the mountain air and all that stuff. So
let me tell you, you're speaking my language with the hummingbirds. There is something so incredible about watching a creature that almost can't fly. Like when you watch one of those bad boys, their wings have to move so fast that they expend almost more energy than they take in from food. It's a miracle they're even able to live. They hover, they move horizontally, laterally, vertically, all that. And just to watch them suck the sap out of a flower is absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Well, we have feeders out on our balcony, and I don't know if you know about. I know everything about them. In fact, our place is called Hummingbird Lodge because there's so many of them. Excuse me. I put feeders out front, and they come back every spring and they leave in the fall. But hummingbirds actually are very intelligent. They actually recognize you. So after a while, as I sit on the porch, they'll fly right up within, I'd say, 6 inches of my face. And Julie's even fed them out of a feeder before. So they're very intelligent, and I think their wings beat at, 2,000 beats a second or something crazy like that. But they eat. It's something like 300 times a day. I mean, they constantly are eating. So, I refill those sugar things like at least once every other 2-3 days. So they're incredible. They really are. And I think it's kind of neat that they get to know you. So.
Yeah, they do. And I'm unfortunately for us, they only come around in the fall months here in Florida. And we got a fire bush out in the backyard because we read that that's what they like. It's they're attracted to red, I guess. So we put a fire bush out in the backyard. And sure enough, one or two will come up. We don't get like the Park City numbers that you fancy folk get. But we make do with what we've got. And, yeah, I'm fascinated by them as well.
And they fly all the way down to Mexico every fall. I think it's probably around, September, October. They just disappear, and they fly all the way to Mexico, and then they'll show back up in the springtime. So, anyhow, I know it's kind of old. When you get old, there's different things that amaze you, and that's one of them. So, I don't know. I think I'm really looking forward to seeing them, anyhow.
Oh, heck yeah. Well, let's talk about more important stuff, especially to your interests, because we have Mother's Day around the corner. And, guys, not just your mom, but your baby mama especially, the woman who gave you the greatest gift that any person can give another person, the gift of life. Let's talk about what you guys have going on for Mother's Day at Golden Diamond Source, Steve.
Well, right now, for all of April, before we talk about Mother's Day, we have it's our Diamond Days. event, and through all of April, through April 30th, all our diamond jewelry is on sale of up to 20% off. So if you're ever thinking about getting diamond earrings or a diamond solitaire or proposing, now is certainly a good time to do it. But Mother's Day, I tried to let the cat out of the bag, but I was told I can't say anything. But I'll just say this.
Okay.
Announcing on May 1st through all the radio stations, including yours, we got a really, really special event going on between May 2nd and May 4th you don't want to miss. But, mothers, it's just not only your mother, it's your wife, it's other people in your life that represents, someone that have brought up your children or you or anything else. So it's just not just your own mother. So it's I think after Valentine's and Christmas, it's our second busiest holiday.
Nice.
So yeah,
I like that. You coming to tonight's game? I know you like to come to Bolts games when you're in town, Steve.
Well, no, I'm not. I did have 3 tickets that I gave away to one of my employees, and in fact, I had tickets to the first playoff game too. So, but I'll be watching, and I was telling someone that how disappointed we all were, of course, the first game. But I recall back in 2004 when we were in our first Stanley Cup, and I was there in the stands that we played Calgary. I don't know if you remember that game, but we got kind of hammered, not quite as bad, but we were beat 4-1, and we all had the same feeling as we have right now. But it depends on what kind of grit we have in this team. If we have anything like we had it back then, I think they shall come back tonight and hopefully take the series. But I'll be glued to the TV set for sure.
Yeah, it's a very tough Florida team that we're playing. They are almost like a mirror image of us in ways, and for some reason, Bobrovsky seems to play his ever-loving butt off against us in the playoffs. And I think he's the reason that they knocked us out in 5 games last year, and I hope they don't do the same thing this year. We win tonight, this becomes a series, and then we make another run to the Cup.
Well, in my opinion, I think they got to get a little more physical. I mean, Florida laid some hits on us, and it just wasn't reciprocated, in my opinion. And tonight they got to go out and get tough. I mean, I know we don't have any enforcers on the team anymore, but we've got some people that can check.
Yep.
And I think they got to get aggressive. I mean, I really didn't see the spark in that first game. That didn't feel like a playoff game to me on the Lightning side. It did on the Florida side, but not on the Lightning side. But listen, I think from where we started this year and to where we are now, we made great strides. And, we all know who needs to show up tonight. Vasilevsky needs to show up, and Kucherov needs to show up. I think Kucherov was invincible on that last game. And I don't know what it is about him. Sometimes he can be the greatest player on the ice, and sometimes he's not there. He's invisible. So I'm not sure. But he needs to show up tonight.
Agreed. Steve, listen, I appreciate the time, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, goldanddiamond.com, 3800 Olmerton Road in Clearwater. Stop on by. You'll be waited on by the entire Weintraub family that will treat you like royalty. You guys are awesome. I appreciate our partnership very much.
All right, Drew. And by the way, I still owe you guys Tomahawk Tuesday dinner.
Yeah.
So you and John, and if you want to invite Ray, that's fine with me. So let's set it together. I'll be here until the third week of May. I'd love to have you guys.
Sounds great, bud. Appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one. Go Bolts.
Go Bolts. You hear that, Ray? You hear that, Ray? You're invited. Hey, Ray, I'm talking to you. Ray.
You mean me?
Yeah, you. When Steve Weintraub says he's going to take you to dinner and calls you Ray, you answer to Ray, Maurice.
Listen.
Doesn't matter what your government name is. Steve Weintraub said he wants to take Ray with us. You're Ray.
If it's a tomahawk dinner, you can call me Ray. You can call me Jay. You can call me Ray J.
But you doesn't have to call me Johnson. Oh, man. Let's welcome Dave Randorf to the show. He has a packet of information that he has undoubtedly been digesting since this series was announced. Dave Randorf, let's feel great about these playoffs. We weren't going to sweep these Florida Panthers. We might as well lose game 1 now. 5-game series. How you doing, bud?
It is always good to see you, buddy.
Back at you.
Yes, and I love how you always have your favorite hockey
dude
on the program.
My dude.
That's
Yeah.
I need that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Come on,
You are.
with you.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I totally agree. I think this wasn't going to be easy. I did walk out of here disappointed the other night, though, Drew. I'm not going to lie.
Me too.
Because, it just didn't add up. the whole game, I didn't see any of it coming. I didn't see the 6 goals against on home ice coming. I didn't see the 3 power play goals against. I didn't see Vasi struggling. I didn't see the team struggling. I didn't see them not rising to the occasion. And they, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Kind of, overall. The coach is saying, listen, he liked parts of the game and liked a lot about what they did. He's got to say that.
Yep.
And they did have a little pushback early, when they tied it up at 1, and then they seemed to have a little momentum for a brief period of time. But let's look at this realistically. They were second place in a lot of categories on Tuesday night, and I do not anticipate to see that tonight. So that's the good news. And I base this on 2.5, 3 months of a body of work leading up to that game. That's why it surprised me so much. They've been very good at home. They've been very good overall.
Yeah.
And their goals against have been way down. Vasi's been great. The new guys have been fitting in. Bottom line is, I just think they picked a bad time to have an off night at the office, but that's why it's a 7-game series and not a 1-game series.
You're exactly right, and I want to look at it as an anomaly. We were playing great hockey leading up to the end of the season. Vasi was in vintage Vasi form. I must have said 5 times on the broadcast on Tuesday, if Vasilevsky plays to his ability, we will win the series. And he promptly went out, and I'm just being blunt, he looked as bad as I have ever seen Andrei Vasilevsky look. Bad. Like, unfocused. These goals that were getting by him. I'll never play goalie. I'm not good enough, and I don't know enough about hockey to tell you what he was doing wrong. But the eye test told me that was not the Andrei Vasilevsky that we have seen this season. Dave.
If you want to break down at least the first couple of goals, the first one was batted out of midair.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one. Second one is a tip by Sam Reinhart, who's made a living off of that exact goal for the last 4 or 5 years. He's one of the top goal scorers in the league, and a lot of them happen like that, with deft little soft hand tips. So he's done that to a lot of good goalies. But when you're a goalie, even as great as Vasi is, you are only sometimes as good as the team in front of you. And when the team in front of you is off balance and a little discombobulated, disorganized, then your game naturally gets the same way because you're guessing. And listen, I had a good long one-on-one chat with Vasi on the weekend in the dressing room, one of the practice days, and he said, "I've got a clear mind. I feel good physically and everything, but I've got a clear mind and I'm ready to go. And I think my best is yet to come." And he said a big part of the reason why he's been able to excel and get back to the levels that he's been at this season is because the team in front of him was predictable. And the team in front of him was protecting the middle and limiting grade A chances. And then all of a sudden, all that went out the window, so there you get what you get, even when you're Andrei Vasilevsky. So I think, listen, we're certainly not going to doubt him. And I'm not going to doubt this group. I'm not. I'm just talking to you honestly about my opinion about that, because I wouldn't come on your program and give you a bunch of nonsense.
No way.
BS. Not in this program.
No, that's not why you're our hockey dude, Dave.
No.
Dave Randorf, the play-by-play TV dude, is with us right now. We're talking about Game 1. It's almost better that you have a game like Game 1 early because you get it out of your system. You see what happens when you let your guard down against these Florida Panthers, who are a darn good hockey team. So many irritants on that team, from Kachuk to the Rat, to Bobrovsky, who seems to make a living of stymieing the Bolts in the playoffs. Would you rather, Dave, play a team like this in the first round, or would you rather kind of get your legs underneath you and then, say, play a Florida Panthers in the conference finals?
Well, first of all, I want to preface this all by saying let's not forget one main thing here. They are the defending Stanley Cup champions.
Indeed.
They are the champs. They've got the belt. They have what the Lightning used to have for 2 straight years, and the Lightning used to run other teams' shows when they met them in the first round. To answer your other question, I mean, what are your options? Toronto?
Yeah, right.
It would have been Toronto, and right now Toronto's got their number. I mean, Toronto's had a lot of success against the Lightning in the last 2 years, let alone this year. So, and the other option it was a long shot, would have been Ottawa. Had the Lightning finished first, they would have gotten Ottawa. And they've, who knows? You can't pick your poison, because you start doing that, you run into trouble. And
right.
John Cooper likes to use the analogy that hey, we won 62 games one year, then we our reward was Columbus, and we know all that worked out. We don't even want to go there anymore, right?
No, we do not. That was painful.
So, I do remember back in 21, the second of back-to-back Cup years, they faced Florida in a whale of a series, like one of the best series I've ever broadcast.
No question.
From beginning to end, it was from the drop of the puck in Game 1. It was on, and it was great, and it was crazy. And John Cooper and a lot of the players have said that series win, acted like a springboard for them, like really propelled them into the second round. So I think that can happen in the first round, no matter who you face.
Yeah.
The first round is chaotic, no matter who you are, whether you're a first seed or the 8th seed. It's up, it's down. There's games like we saw the other night. There'll be probably a close overtime game here along the way too. There will be. These games between these two are often close. And then when you come out of it, you're feeling good. You've got some momentum.
Yeah.
Then you can take that into the second round and hopefully win there. And then your game is kind of set for whatever follows. Yeah. And that's how the Lightning won their back-to-back cups. So I wouldn't say, would I rather this, would I rather that. I think, you know what, bring on a rivalry game.
Sure.
It gets your attention, doesn't it?
Boy,
and they got their attention right now.
Oh, they did. And I believe we lost Game 2 against the Panthers last year in overtime. This time.
The first two games were one-goal games.
Yeah. And we need this one tonight. I'd hesitate to call it a must-win in Game 2, but you don't want to let the air out of this building like happened in Game 1. It was so raucous pregame. It was a great, intense playoff atmosphere. People cheering. Everybody's going crazy. That first goal let so much air out of the building, but then we got it back, and then they start peppering Bobs with shots, and then all of a sudden, boom, there goes one against us, and it was never the same since.
Yeah.
You're working, so you don't get to hear Phil Esposito on 102.5 The Bone, but let me tell you.
I can only imagine.
His level of anguish and frustration with this team is something else. I left in the second period because once we went down like 4-1, 5-1, I'm like, okay, well, it's already 11 p.m. Let's
tell me about that one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you know. So I make a very frustrated, brisk walk to my car. I get in, turn on The Bone, of course, and there's Phil. I'm like, this guy's a treasure.
Now, I do get the opportunity, the pleasure of talking to Phil often during the intermissions because he has to get out of the booth.
Oh, yeah.
On most nights to cool off.
Right.
And he wears it on his sleeve. He's the father of this franchise, the founding father.
Yep.
And he cares deeply about how this team does on a period-by-period basis. Sometimes it's hilarious. I can't even believe I'm sometimes not arguing with Phil Esposito.
Right.
But, this guy is I don't know
legend.
of him my whole... He's a legend.
Oh, yeah.
In Canada, he's a legend. Where I grew up. And, but sometimes he goes, oh, David, and he'll go on and on and on, and I'll go, we are winning 4-0.
He will find fault and wins too. That is for sure. He's Espo. Dave Randorf is here. You can watch him tonight on FanDuel Sports Network, and we will get set for an earlier start in this Game 2. We go late Game 1. We do early Game 2.
And then afternoon on Saturday, 1 o'clock. I know.
All over the place,
all
man.
over the map.
You got to like having a pretty quick commute, though. Like you don't have to fly all the way across the country or go into Canada. You just, nice little flight down to South Florida. Probably takes an hour or two.
Not even.
Oh, really?
It's super brief. It's like you're in the air 30 minutes, 30 or 35 minutes. And we're at our hotels and tucked in pretty good. But, yeah, from a travel standpoint for the players, it's nice. And listen, I think it's great for fans too to be able to make the drive and go down there, and even some fans of the stinking Panthers come up here, and
they do.
It adds to the environment.
Sure,
that's what playoff hockey's all about, and we can return the favor and go down there.
No question.
Because you know what, Drew?
What?
Plenty of good seats available.
I might look into that for Saturday's game. It looked like early in the game, Kachuk. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Kachuk? Is that how he says it? Kachuk. Kachuk took a little run at Kucherov.
Oh, yeah.
And in past years, we would
He hadn't played in 2.5 months, by the way.
Right, and just immediately gets on the ice and goes after the best player in the
walks
NHL.
out with 3 points.
That's how he does it.
Yeah,
we don't have a Pat Maroon this year.
Yeah.
We've got Yanni Gourde, which is nice. Who are you looking to kind of step up and assert the physical presence of the Tampa Bay Lightning?
To stick their nose in it. One little quick point about that shot on Kucherov. They're in his kitchen. They're banging the pots and pans a little bit in the cutlery drawer. They're rattling it a bit. They're in his kitchen a bit, and why wouldn't you be?
Right.
And Kachuk knows that, and it looked like a bad penalty because we scored on the power play that he took, on the penalty he took. But to to answer your question, Brandon Hagel is certainly capable of. He's the reason.
spicy.
He's the reason Kachuk was out for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody has said that he got injured in that fight at the Four Nations, but that was the game he got hurt in, and he didn't finish that game. So he can certainly stick his nose in there. Nick Paul can get involved. Chernak can get involved. Lilleberg is not afraid if something has to happen or delay a hit.
Yeah.
And I would expect, a lot was made about the 46 hits that the Florida Panthers were credited with the other night. A lot was made of that, and a lot is always made of that in the playoffs. They look at teams' hit totals, and sometimes that's overplayed. And even the Panthers head coach, Paul Maurice, who's a very well-spoken guy, he's a smart guy, and he communicates his message very well. He said, I didn't find it that physical. And he's probably right. There weren't a lot of hellacious hits where you went, whoa. Contact is contact, and that's good, but it can take you off your game too if you're just running around just trying to take a chunk at a guys. You gotta pick your spots, time it out, and not get distracted and by running around, because you know what, a team as good as the Panthers, it's not gonna bother them.
Nope.
B, they will take advantage of you being out of position or being distracted or not focused or leaving the middle open, or all of the above.
Yeah.
They are too good to be caught doing things to get you out of your lane.
Yeah. Give me Dave Randorf's keys to victory for tonight's game, Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, Game 2.
I want to see, first of all, we do not know if Anthony Cirelli is going to play tonight. That's a tough one. John Cooper said this morning he's going to take the pregame skate. He did not skate this morning, and he says if he's ready, he'll play, and that'll be that.
Okay.
So at the very least, he's going to be playing at less than 100%. Without him, that's a tough blow, because you're already missing another top 9 forward in Oliver Bjorkstrand, a guy who was brought in to be relied upon for some depth scoring, 20-goal guy. Listen, they had 7 guys this season who had 20 goals or more. 2 of them are now potentially out for tonight. That's not helpful, but those are the facts.
Yep.
So, having said that, it's I love teams that just say, not just say next man up,
right,
but do next man up. It's a cliche, but I love the teams that do it in the playoffs and step up and maybe get a little, as my broadcast partner Brian Engblom likes to say, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And pick your spots. Come out with some emotion, some fire. Start on time. The way the Lightning can in this building. It's been a very tough place to play for the opposition for the better part of the season, and certainly since the new year. It's been they've been one of the best home teams in the league, as they often are. And you can get this crowd going and get them on top of you. And a lot of players I've talked to that are past and present say, we used to hate coming in here.
Wow.
Used to hate it. The crowd would get going.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. And it was like that. So, having said that, I'd like to see some emotion right off the start. Maybe a couple of big hits, get the crowd into it, and score first. Play with the lead. We were chasing the game the entire night on Tuesday. Even when it was tied, you're still when you're behind, you got to normally tie it, and then you got to get the next one to get the lead. It's harder this time of year. The Lightning were the best team in the league in scoring first. They scored first the most in the NHL.
Did not know that.
So let's. That's what I'm here for, Drew.
Man,
that's why you have me
you're
on,
a walking encyclopedic dude. You really get it done, Randorf.
So that's something that I'd like to see. I'd like to see some fire and some and vinegar and a first goal, and play with a lead and get to our game and settle in and put Tuesday completely in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, we've worked too hard.
And I don't want to see you leaving early again.
Tonight you won't. No, it's an earlier start tonight, so I'm in it to win it, unless we're down 5-1 again, in which case I'm leaving. But are you going to Metallica? I know you're a live music guy, and I would be remiss if I didn't ask you if you're attending one of the bigger stadium shows ever to come to the Tampa Bay area.
There's a pretty darn good chance that you'll see my wife and I at Metallica.
Good.
Yes.
Good. That's going to be a big one. That's the next big stadium show.
It's like, are you kidding? It's right in our backyard. Of course you're going to go
Can't
see
not
that.
go. Right.
You can't not
All right.
go.
Well, let's hope that I don't see you out on the golf course for at least a month or two, because A deep playoff run will mean that your obligations will keep you here instead of out on beautiful West Chase Country Club. But right after that, we're going to go play some golf. Thank you, Dave Randorf. He'll be on FanDuel Sports Network tonight with the great Brian Engblom. Coverage starts at 6:30 tonight.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Pre-game show. They're outside on Thunder Alley.
Oh, yeah.
Get out there and be a part of the background with Paul Kennedy and Dave Vanderchuk. And yeah, we've got all the first-round live game coverage and pre- and post-game. And, dude, it is always good to be on with you, pal.
Well, Johnny would be upset with me if I didn't send his regards. He said he was very jealous.
He's got his own show now.
Man, he's
got his own show.
He won't return my calls.
No.
I can't schedule time with him, Dave.
Big time
in me. You are the man. Appreciate you, Dave Randorf. We're going to step aside. We'll return with more Drew Garabo live before tonight's early Bolts game right here on 102.5 The Bone.
You're listening to Drew Garabo live on 102.5 The Bone. Download the free Bone app to listen to us anywhere. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Get your guaranteed offer at markspain.com.
Now, a Bone traffic update from the Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center.
Southbound I-75 has regress construction zone headed toward I-4 is backing up traffic now beyond Fletcher Avenue, which itself is delayed eastbound. Give yourself 25 to 30 minutes there. 75 north at I-4 backed up about 10 minutes to Dr. King. 75 north past Big Bend Road back to Sun City Center Boulevard. That's also about 20 minutes. 301 and 41, varying degrees of delays, road work related. Selman Expressway into downtown Tampa, still back to the Gandy. 275 north, plenty of congestion itself in the downtown region. Bridges are seeing delays into Tampa. Looks like you're still dealing with 275 north wreck closing in on 22nd Avenue in Pinellas. Traffic is back beyond 28th Street now. Southbound 275 back to 26th Avenue due to typical delay at Pinellas Point. This is Eric with your traffic in the Farah and Farah Traffic Center.
After you've been injured at no fault of your own, you shouldn't be stuck putting the medical bills or dealing with lost wages. Farah and Farah's accident attorneys are here to make it easy. Contact Farah and Farah, 1-800-500-5555, farahandfarah.com. Make it a Farah fight, Tampa.
If you're doing your spring cleaning and you see that your windows and patio doors lack pizzazz, do something about it. Renewal by Anderson of Tampa and Sarasota have a 1-month only sale where you can save $300 off all windows and $825 off patio doors, plus no money down, no payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Renewal by Anderson, superior products, exceptional service. RBAFLA.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Over 700 new Hyundais, tariff-free at Crown Hyundai. Get financing as low as 0%, buy with zero down, or make no payments for a year on over 700 new tariff-free Hyundais. Drive a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SE for only $99 a month. All are backed by Owner Assurance, America's best warranty, including a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Crown Hyundai, the better way to buy and service. Visit crownhyundai.com.
With approved credit, 24 month lease, 10K miles a year, $59.95 due at signing.
The semi-annual event everyone waits for is here this weekend at International Diamond Center. Incredible savings across the board. Up to 20% off. Rings, bands, bracelets, earrings, pendants, plus thousands of designer engagement rings. Even all GIA certified diamonds are on sale. Acclaimed jewelry designers are here with all new collections. Save up to 20% and spread your payments over 3 years with zero interest. 3 days only this Friday through Sunday, and only at International Diamond Center. Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota.
Hey, it's a cat named Mo for Newport Richie's favorite and best gun range, also one of my favorite gun ranges, if not the favorite, and they are telling you, I'm talking about All American Gunslingers, and they're telling you to join them every Saturday for a free concealed carry class. That's free. Normally $85. It is free from 12 to 3. That way you can protect you and your family. Go to aagunslingers.com. You want to reserve your spot. Seats are limited. They also want me to let you know, and I have been, education is the key to safety, and shooting being a diminishing skill, you need classes and training, which is offered at All American Gunslingers out on US 19 North in Newport Richie. They have a variety of classes and training from things like holster draw, intro to pistol, intro to rifle, and skill drills. And don't forget, if you are an advanced shooter or new, Thursdays from 7:30 to 9:30, prizes are awarded weekly for their league night. Again, you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your family, but you have to know how to do it. You have to have the tools to do it, and you get this all at All American Gunslingers. They are on US 19 North in Newport Richie, and they stand up for your rights your safety, and your freedom, America.
This April is your last chance to max your tax refund at Sun Toyota. Bring us your rebate and we'll double it up to $3,000. Then get 0% financing on select new Toyota trucks. Backed by a nationwide lifetime warranty with 4-year maintenance on new models. Hurry in today or shop online at suntoyota.com. Because when you make it Sun Toyota,
we make it happen.
Toyota.com. Call 1-800-639-3367 for more information.
2001 Odyssey is Tampa's #1 nude club on Florida's West Coast with over 300 of the hottest exotic dancers. 2001 Odyssey has been voted the #1 nude club by Best of the Bay. Check out the world-famous 2001 spaceship and encounter the wildest dancing in Tampa Bay. The after party happens every night. Full liquor next door. 2001 Odyssey, 275 in Raymond James Stadium on Dale Mabry, better known as The Strip.
It's Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I've got something important to talk to you about, your 401k. If you have changed jobs, there are 2 very important considerations. You don't want to leave your 401k behind, and you don't want to roll it over into your new company plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. 401ks will often have limited investments or age-based options. Since companies have to make choices to suit all employees, they may not be suited to you, which could cost you fees and money. When you roll over your 401k into an IRA, you not only keep your money growing tax deferred, but you also gain access to a world of investment options specifically designed for you. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have helped thousands, and we can do the same for you. Call Trajan today at 813-550-1000. That's 813-550-1000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Stingray Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Steve Hurley, owner of Stingray Chevrolet. There's no doubt if you listen to the news that the economic landscape is in a constant state of change. And with the uncertainty surrounding the automotive industry, many people are heading to the used car lots. Listen, there are plenty of good reasons to buy a pre-owned vehicle, and chief among them is avoiding the dreaded D word, depreciation. Here at Stingray, we constantly stock 200 high-quality pre-owned vehicles with a great selection of certified pre-owned Chevys, like a 2022 certified pre-owned Chevy Trax for just $17,600. And since saving money is on the top of everyone's mind, remember that Stingray Chevy on I-4 has no dealer fee on any pre-owned vehicle, and that automatically saves you $1,000 to $1,500. StingrayChevrolet.com, Tampa Bay's big store on I-4, exit 22, Plant City. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Stingray Chevrolet. Relax, enjoy the difference.
Hi, I'm attorney Fran Hosh. Being involved in a car or motorcycle accident can be stressful. I've dedicated my career to helping accident victims and their loved ones. If you need an attorney you can trust, give me a call today at 866-LAW-FRAN. We will give you a free case evaluation. I won't charge you any fees unless you recover money. Give me a call today at 866-LAW-FRAN, 866-LAW-FRAN, or visit me online at lawfran.com. Main office, Palm Harbor.
The following is furnished by Excel Media Pros. Are you battling addiction? Call Rehabs America for a free consultation. Drugs and alcohol can destroy your life. Our program offers a complete medical detox plus inpatient drug and alcohol treatment. Your insurance may cover 100% of treatment. Many have already completed our program and are living substance-free lives. Call for your free consultation now. 800-210-5811. That's 800-210-5811. Hope is one phone call away. Call 800-210-5811.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Minis and Kitties is coming to Mini of Tampa Bay Saturday, April 26th. Enjoy free refreshments, cuddle adorable kittens, and even adopt a furry friend from our Humane Society of Pinellas County Kitten Adoption Zone. It's going to be the perfect Saturday. Go to minioftampabay.com for details.
Integrity, respect, results. Farah and Farah expect more.
Tampa.
Do rain or bugs have your car looking dirty? Well, Bubble Down Car Wash has you covered. They offer longer wash tunnels, powerful vacuums, and the friendliest staff. Check out BubbleDown.com to find a Bubble Down Car Wash location near you.
Now, a weather update from the Sun Toyota Weather Center.
SunToyota.com.
I'm Fox 13 Chief Meteorologist Paul Delegato. More dry weather on the way. Clear skies, mild tonight, lows near 70. And another day on Friday, sunshine, high temperatures near 90. That trend continues through the weekend. Keep cool.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Now, back to Drew Garabo Live.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, as a sports fan, I have been my entire life. I got to be honest with you. This playoff series against the Bolts and the Orlando Magic playoff series against the Boston Celtics is it's draining my soul. Doesn't feel good. I've had to experience 3 brutal losses in a row. First, the Magic getting blown out by the Celtics. Then the Bolts getting punched in the mouth on Tuesday against these Panthers. And then Game 2 of the Magic Celtics last night with Jason Tatum, the Celtics superstar, out of the game. The Magic go up there and lay an egg. And so I've watched my 2 favorite teams in sports lose a total of 3 games in the past 4 or 5 days. Not sexy. I need that to come to an end tonight. I can't handle a 4th loss in a row. My fragile little psyche can't tolerate it. Corey and I are out here at Amalie Arena, right outside Section 112 by the Lightning Legacy display with shadow boxes and jerseys and whatnot. Hope you're coming to tonight's game, but if you're not, you can watch it on TV and check out our boy Dave Randorf, or better yet, I say without Dave in front of me, listen to it in rich, booming stereo right here on 102.5 The Bone, where we carry all of your Tampa Bay Lightning games, and we have an early one tonight. Therefore, we will get out of here early in about an hour or so. Really strange setup. And then Saturday, now Corey, will there be a Mike O pre-game show on Saturday before the 1 o'clock game right here on 102.5 The Bone?
Mike O and I will actually be broadcasting live from 11 to 12:30.
All
and
right.
then pregame starts at 12:30.
Oh, heck yeah. 90 minutes of the Mike O pregame show with Corey C.
Hell yeah.
You guys be here or in the studio? We're in Florida, so
we'll actually be out at Furman with Minnie Furman up in Palm Harbor for Minis and Kitties.
Oh yeah, I just heard the ad for that. So they'll be adopting some cats.
Yeah. We'll have I don't know which society will be out there, but we'll have some cats out there, a petting area. You can adopt them right there. A supply drive, like a what is it? I don't know, food and whatnot for the animals as well.
Oh, dude, that's so awesome. Litter probably and toys and all that stuff.
Yeah, those types of things.
As an advocate for pet adoption, I think that is a wonderful thing that you're doing. That is minis and kitties. Any truth to the rumor that there will be restaurant waitresses stopping by, and it will be minis, kitties, and I should not say that.
Allegedly.
Almost pulled the trigger on that one. Well, great. We'll go see Mike O and Corey C out at Furman in Palm Harbor. Take home a cat. Take home a car, and then enjoy some Tampa Bay Lightning pregame action as we will hopefully be playing a pivotal Game 3 tied up 1 each. I'm not panicked after Game 1. I'm bummed out. It wasn't a close game. You hate to see the home fans disappointed, and that's exactly what we were on Tuesday night. Wasn't mad, just sad. Like, nobody for the Bolts seemed on their game offensively, and Vasilevsky didn't look all that great either. So maybe tonight things will have changed. But like Dave Randorf pointed out, this Florida Panthers team is a defending Stanley Cup champion, and they've certainly played like it on Tuesday night. And tonight, perhaps we will be looking at things a little bit differently. Maurice, were you caught up in any of the McDonald's hullabaloo that happened at the station earlier?
I heard about it when you were questioning sending. No, it was done by the time I arrived. I grabbed a Panera sandwich off the table and kept my mouth shut.
Okay, because I saw the email come by from our good friend Scotty Vaughn. She had emailed 7 of us. I see Corey on there. I'm on there, sending on there. Ethan, Christy, EJ, Gordy, the great Mel Martin, and, of course, Heather in the promotions department. And it said 3 p.m. McDonald's McCrispy Strips food drop. McDonald's has something new for you on their chicken lineup, and it's good. You've had the McCrispy sandwiches. I haven't. Now it's time for McCrispy Strips with the new creamy chili strip dip.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
The creamy chili strip dip. Starting May 5th, customers can stop by their local Mickey D's to enjoy their new McCrispy Strips, 100% all-white chicken breast with the golden outside and juicy inside. What is creamy chili strip dip? I'm glad you asked, Maurice. This creamy sauce is savory, slightly tangy, and with a hint of what I got to give it to your mama chili pepper heat. Now available at McDonald's. So I'm just so befuddled by what happened. So in reading that, one would assume that there would be a food drop for all radio stations, just like old days when they used to bring food by all the time before some loudmouth dude on 102.5 The Bone ruined it all by bitching that he wasn't getting fed first. Guy by the name of Drew Garabo. Ruined food drops for the entire station.
I do remember that.
I got written up.
What?
I got written up because... Probably shouldn't talk about this.
Oh, please. I'm dying to find out.
So... back in the early days of my Cox Media career, circa 2011, 2012, I was so fascinated by the fact that here in Tampa, the same thing occurred that used to happen in Orlando. A client would bring in food for the on-air talent, and the off-air people would eat all of the food before the on-air talent got to eat any of the food. Now, look, should everyone eat equally, evenly? No. No, the people who get to talk about the food in front of the microphones are the most important when it comes to the literal food chain when a client brings food. Not that the people in sales, marketing, promotions, management, etc., engineering, not that they don't work hard, they do. They just don't have the same reach that the on-air personalities have by speaking into a microphone. Is that fair to say? I think that's very fair to say.
100%, because also by talking about it, that might make the client more willing to spend more money, and that puts money into the sales staff's pockets.
Thank you, Maurice. Chances are very good that if you hear a radio personality talking about something and it sounds delicious, you're probably going to go get said delicious food item. No offense to Julie or Janie, or I'm making up names here, down in the sales assistant role. But if they go tell their friends and neighbors, probably not as many people are going to go get said food. So I'll never forget, it was a Chick-fil-A delivery that was coming, and someone had facetiously, I think it was even my buddy Frank, had facetiously added, remember, it is important that Drew Garabo eats first. Now, snarky comments notwithstanding,
it's a good one.
It was a good one. I will accept that. I have the Rosa Parks of making sure that we are treated equitably. So I set up a hidden camera.
I forgot about that.
I set up a hidden camera in where Roswell sits right now. It was an empty office. So I hid behind the blinds with the camera when the food was dropped off, just to catch on video the offenders who were eating food before the on-air talent could get their food.
It's prime investigative journalism, Drew.
You know, I was raised on 60 Minutes. I was raised on 2020 and shows like that. Consumer watchdogs like David Horowitz and at the time Geraldo Rivera. I considered myself one of them. Their peers, if you will. So I not only captured non-radio on-air personalities eating it, I shared it on social media, and apparently some people did not care for their images not only being put on social media, but along with some insulting comments made by me about their audacity in taking some of the food. So I got written up. And then I had to, anytime there was food after that, I got a permission slip that said, please know that your likeness may be captured, and it was a thing. All right, we're going to break, and we're going to come back with our friend Deandra. First, Maurice, though, since Corey is right next to me right now, we would be idiots if we didn't do the bonus word of the day.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have the bed there or not.
I do not, sir.
Okay, not a problem. I will verbatim then tell you that this hour's keyword is tip. T-I-P. Tip. Head to the 1025 The Bone app now and enter tip before 30 minutes past the top of the hour, and the $1,000 Bone bonus could be yours. I will use it in a sentence. As the leper said to the prostitute, keep the tip. Tip. T-I-P. Go enter it right now on the 1025 The Bone app, and you, yes, you, could win $1,000. And remember, if you enter the Bone bonus and then within 30 minutes you get a call from a number you don't recognize, don't be like normal people and not answer that. Answer it. It might be one of our contest judges calling you. And if you do win, you have a moral imperative to mention Drew Garabo Live so that we can play it on the radio. All right. Hang tight. We're going to come back. We're going to make sense of tonight's game. We're going to get a healthy dose of optimism from Deandra. Stand by. It is Drew Garabo Live from Amalie Arena.
You're listening to Drew Garabo Live on 102.5 The Bone. Stingray Chevrolet presents Calta Cruise 19. Calta Cruise 19 is happening on April 9th, 2026 for a 4-night cruise. We'll be on the Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas, departing from Port Canaveral and heading to Coco Cay and Nassau. And we'd love for you to join the party. You can book right now. Email caltacruise@gmail.com to put your deposit down today. Calta Cruise 19. Brought to you by Stingray Chevrolet, Tampa Bay's big store on I-4 exit 22, Plant City. For all the details, visit theboneonline.com. Now, a Bone traffic update from the Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center.
Southbound I-75 has regressed. Construction zone headed toward I-4 is backing up traffic now beyond Fletcher Avenue, which itself is delayed eastbound. Give yourself 25 to 30 minutes there. 75 north at I-4 backed up about 10 minutes to Dr. King. 75 north past Big Bend Road back to Sun City Center Boulevard. That's also about 20 minutes. 301 and 41, varying degrees of delays, road work related. Selman Expressway into downtown Tampa, still back to the Gandy. 275 north, plenty of congestion itself in the downtown region. Bridges are seeing delays into Tampa. Looks like you're still dealing with 275 north wreck closing in on 22nd Avenue in Pinellas. Traffic is back beyond 28th Street now. Southbound 275 back to 26th Avenue due to typical delay at Pinellas Point. This is Eric with your traffic in the Farah and Farah Traffic Center.
Save time and money with mobile service at Jerry Ohm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They come to you and perform on-site simple repairs or routine maintenance. Schedule mobile service with Jerry Ohm today. Online at jerryohm.com. Tampa is Ohm country. See dealer for complete details.
Diamond Days are back at Golden Diamond Source, Tampa Bay's largest jewelry superstore. I love Diamond Days because right now you can get up to 20% off all their diamond inventory, including April's birthstone. Plus, you can take advantage of 0% financing for up to 5 years. That means if you finance $5,000, your monthly payment would be only $83. Best of all, your Golden Diamond Source diamond never loses its value. And listen up, all you soon-to-be newlyweds. Here's your chance to win a $2,500 shopping spree at Golden Diamond Source, along with a wedding cake for up to 100 guests, created by the renowned celebrity chef, the Cake Girl, as seen on the Today Show. Entering is simple. Go to Golden Diamond Source on Ulmerton Road for your chance to win big. If you want your special someone to say yes, make sure it's a Gold and Diamond Source diamond. Visit us at 3800 Ulmerton Road in Clearwater. And, of course, make sure it's a Gold and Diamond Source diamond.
Furman Chevrolet in Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 Chevy dealer. What makes us #1 at Furman Chevy Brandon? We say yes. Yes to having Tampa Bay's largest new Chevy inventory. Yes to paying top dollar for your trade. And now, during Truck Month, well-qualified buyers will receive 2.9% APR for 72 months on the new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 Turbo Max. Come see why we are #1. Visit us on Adamo Drive in Brandon or online at FurmanChevy.com. Furman Chevy Brandon. Together, let's drive.
John Senning here for Solar Bear. You know, every year the power company charges you more and gives you less. But at Solar Bear, they're flipping the script. They're going to give you 12 months of solar power completely free and long-term savings after that. They're locally owned and been in business for over 10 years and rated 5 stars by thousands of happy homeowners. You can own your power, lock in your rate, and stop the monthly stress. Let your roof work for you. Call Solar Bear and start saving today, or visit solarbear.com.
At Florida Prepaid, we're here for all the grinders, the go-getters, the gifted, the talented, the unique, the spirited. We're here for the well-to-do, the just getting started, the budgeters, the big spenders, and everyone in between. Because we believe that every child deserves higher education, and our goal is to help families save for it by making it simpler and more affordable than ever before. So every child has the opportunity to shine. Plans start at just $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
If you're in the market for a car, chances are you've heard all about those confusing 25% auto tariffs, additional costs added to both new and used cars, and ultimately passed on to you. But don't stress, because at Auto Lenders in Palm Harbor, we have a unique way of getting inventory without the tariffs. So you can choose from the finest one-owner cars, trucks, and SUVs. They're totally tariff-free, which means you're totally free to save thousands more. See for yourself at Auto Lenders in Palm Harbor, a tariff-free way to buy a car.
Have you signed up for the Hard Rock Unity Card yet? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Sign up for a Unity Card at the Players Club and receive a free limited edition Seminole Hard Rock t-shirt and up to $200 on them. You'll receive your actual slot loss back from your first day on your next visit and 2 equal free play offers up to $200. Insert your new card into your favorite slot machine and begin playing and start earning points. Your Unity points can be used like regular dollars on qualifying purchases at participating restaurants, bars, hotels, lounges, and retail stores. Stop by the Seminole Hard Rock and make sure you get your Hard Rock Unity Card.
It's 6:30 and the branch is closed.
Yep.
And you couldn't find your debit card.
Nope.
But you're going to get cash.
Yep. Cadence Bank Live Teller has extended hours, and I can get cash from my account with my driver's license.
My bank can't do that.
Nope.
With over 300 live teller locations with extended hours, there's opportunity here. Find a live teller near you at cadencebank.com/live teller. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
This weekend at International Diamond Center, acclaimed jewelry designers are here with all new collections. Save up to 20% and spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest. 3 days only this Friday through Sunday, and only at International Diamond Center, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota.
Hi, folks. Phil Esposito here, Hockey Hall of Famer. Well, who knew that I was going to go a little bit deaf? I lost my hearing a little bit. People kept telling me, what's wrong with you? You can't hear. So guess what? They were right. I went to Audibel. Audibel took care of me. It was incredible. Audibel, they are terrific. And by the way, Audibel's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Book your free hearing test now at floridahearing.com. Hear better, live better.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
John Senning here for Hawkins Service Co. Hawkins is your one-stop shop for home services with over 3,000 five-star reviews. Hawkins has earned a reputation for reliability and quality across the region. And right now, they're running a $49 spring tune-up on your air conditioning unit and $1,500 off any complete AC system. And whether it's AC, plumbing, electrical, even pool repair, Hawkins has you covered. Give them a call today, 813-445-8209, or book that appointment online at hawkinsserviceco.com. Hawkins, one call handles it all.
This Work Zone Awareness Week, take a moment to think about the people behind the cones. Road workers risk their lives to keep Florida highways safe. Speeding, distractions, and ignoring signs can be deadly. Slow down, stay alert, and follow the rules. It's the best way to protect workers and yourself. Together, we can make a difference. From the Florida Department of Transportation, respect the zone so we all get home.
I'm honored by the number of referrals that Bernetti PA gets from others in our legal profession. We have represented clients referred to us by other law firms and even represented judges. They've called us. Why shouldn't you? Call 1-800-BURNETTI. We're ready. Offices Tampa, Lakeland, Pinellas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you're the victim of a car crash, take back control of your life. Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
This hour of Drew Garabo Live brought to you by Bolt Electric. For lightning fast service, log on to boltelectricfl.com.
1025 The Bone. Real Raw Radio. WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete. And 1073 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. Live from the WeatherTight Windows studio. Unique opinions, compelling conversation, and the best in afternoon entertainment. Now, the conversation continues on Drew Garabo Live.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might
find a better place to play. Welcome back. We are live at Amalie Arena for a pivotal. It's not a must-win. It's a can't-lose. Game 2, Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, and as our next guest, who you can hear on the NHL Network, you can read her on the Hockey News, you can hear her on Sirius XM's NHL, ESPN's SFWL, and of course, 1025 The Bone with a little microphone right there. Deandra, you said earlier today on Twitter, the Bolts are looking to take things up a notch in Game 2. The one thing you do get to kind of rely on is a little bit of history, and you know our players have dug in. First of all, welcome. Great to see you again. You look lovely.
Thank you very much for having me on again. I'm
Of course.
glad you asked me to come back.
Oh, my gosh, a pleasure. You were great the first time.
Usually I'm on with Mike. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, sorry, I'm second best. But we do share Corey Cardinal. The
We
common,
do.
The lowest common denominator is Corey. The Corey common denominator, they call him. And you went to Game 1. You did not go to Game 1.
I did. I was at Game 1, yes.
Ugh.
Yes,
Just
I was there.
demoralizing. Like, we were just talking to Dave Randorf. The building was electric.
Yes.
It was on fire. The pregame presentation, amazing. Fans were chanting, "Let's go Lightning," before the puck even dropped.
Yes.
And then promptly the air exited the building as soon as Florida scored that first goal. We got it back a little momentum when we scored the to even it up, the equalizer, they call it, and just it wasn't the same since. That was not the Tampa Bay Lightning team that I ordered in Game 1.
Yeah.
I want to talk to a manager. What the heck happened, and how do we fix it?
Someone call the manager
Please.
immediately. It was. I feel like the whole city was ready to go this year, right? Thunder Alley was packed.
Yeah, for
out
a Game 1.
For a Game 1, and it was actually packed out even till the end. But yeah, I know it wasn't the team that we've seen down the stretch. I wrote about that a little bit. It's just. I think getting home ice advantage, I expected. I thought they were going to come out the gate, definitely get this one in the bag. And, what happened, maybe a couple games, if they go to Sunrise, they lose one, it's okay because they're going to get the first 2. So it was kind of surprising to see that. I think they kind of came out strong, but then the second period was, that was it. So definitely expecting a different team. That is not sitting well with them at all, or anybody really. I think the sky is falling in Tampa right now. It's only one game down.
I know. We overreact to losses, especially when it comes to starting off a series. We weren't going to sweep them anyway.
Yeah.
So now it's a 4-1 series. You know what I mean? We let them have one here. You can't lose 2 at home and squander away all we worked so hard for to get home ice advantage throughout the season. I don't want to call this a must-win. I'm calling it a can't lose. You cannot lose this game tonight.
No, they can't lose this game. 0-2 going to Sunrise. That is scary stuff. And I think having a rival like the Panthers, right, and playing them in the first round, that's only a 3-hour drive. So you're pretty much you're lucky. That's not a long travel. No one's going to Toronto. So, no, it's not going to be cold. Everything kind of stays the same. So they do have that advantage. If they can win tonight, that puts them in a really good spot. And I do think Lightning fans will travel. The game's on a Saturday.
Yep.
So that really gives them that comfort. And my biggest thing, I think, with the first game is it's not talent-wise. The Panthers are very much beatable.
Yeah.
They're a tough physical team. You got to match that physicality, which is kind of what I talked about in the story. But they dictated the way the game went. And I'm don't let them get in, please. Get them out of here.
You're exactly right. They did dictate it because when Tkachuk took a run at Kucherov early in the game, it was never the same. They got in his head. He did not play a Nikita Kucherov style of hockey. And I love Kuch, one of my favorite athletes of all time. But you know that if you get under his skin, you're under his skin. He's going to be thinking about you the whole game, and he's not going to be the coach that we need him to be.
Yeah.
I don't know who he listens to. I'm sure he listens to Coach Cooper. I'm hoping someone can get in his ear and go, hey, listen, man, they're going to try the same damn thing.
Yeah.
And like Dave Randor said, don't let him in your kitchen. Don't let him bang around the pots and pans. Be Nikita Kucherov. Give us 3 points tonight. Give us a goal tonight, and let's win this freaking game.
Yeah, no, I think that's the biggest thing with the Panthers, right? They're doing, their style of play has not changed at all. It's the same thing. It's like copy and paste from last year. So it's coming. And I do wonder maybe going in, even though this is what they're going to do, it's a lot, right? They leave zero space for you to work and do anything. So get ready because it's coming, And I think the Lightning are always successful against the Panthers when they go tit for tat, right? They're just as physical as them. They don't let them bully them around. It's different, the past couple years without a Pat Maroon or one of those guys, But I think Chernak tries to do his best.
Yeah.
And Lilleberg's there.
Yep.
So get on in it.
Beware of a man named Emil, I always say. And we need a physical presence tonight, and we need Vasilevsky to be Vasilevsky. Randorf was saying that a couple of those goals weren't necessarily his fault, crowding in front of the net and whatnot, but just from my eye test, Vasilevsky did not look like Vasilevsky. Again, not the Vasilevsky we've seen this year in Game 1. We need a stronger performance from him tonight. Can't let 6 goals go by.
No, and I would expect that he will have a really good game. He doesn't usually have 2 bad games in a row, so I guess that is a plus. But yeah, like I said, I was in the locker room today, and it is not sitting well with them at all because they know that could have been, they could have won that game. So I will say one thing this season that we've seen, the losses it's not ever going to be like a 2-1 loss. They're usually like a 6-2 or like a 5-1 or something like that. So I knew, being realistic, that could happen in the postseason. So it did. So now it's out of the way.
Yep.
So let's keep it moving.
Boom.
Yeah.
When you're in the locker room, I remember when I worked for I worked for radio in Orlando, and they would give us access to the Magic locker room. Mm-hmm. It's somewhat intimidating because there's no real structure. There are just players in there, and it's your job to go up and like get insight out of them, and you know full well the last thing in the world they want to be doing is talking to someone about a miserable loss and giving sound bites and comments and whatnot. Is that somewhat daunting for you, or is it something you're very comfortable with now the guys kind of know you, that you can just stroll up to a Braden Point and go, hey, can I get a couple of words with you? Or is it still somewhat intimidating?
It used to be intimidating, actually. Actually, Stammer's the one that made me feel comfortable, like, going into the locker room in those situations, because he was kind of like, just ask me whatever you want. Like, he really didn't care. And so when he would, this was like my first season in there, and he was just like, just ask me. Like, I don't care. I'm here, or whatever. Yeah. So Stammer really like helped me with that, getting through that. And then in my head, I'm like, well, if the captain of the team doesn't care, then I'm going up to everybody.
Yeah.
So at this point, yeah, it doesn't, it's not daunting for me anymore. Although sometimes you feel bad, right? When it's a bad loss, you're just like, oh, I know this sucks. And I don't want to go up and ask them a bunch of questions, but the guys are so good and they're really good with me, and they know I'm not going to ask anything insane to them.
Yeah.
You know, like if you go in Toronto or some of those, or like New York and one of those original six market, or Edmonton, like for example, I was watching some of the videos from the pressers in Edmonton because they're down. You know? And it's brutal. So I think the guys know it's not going to be like that. We haven't really had any crazy people come through the media group yet.
That's true.
So, but yeah, no, it can be intimidating, I'm sure, for when you first start. Yeah.
Yeah, we, I'll clean this story up a little bit for the radio purposes, but this was like in the 90s before any political correctness or Me Too movement or came through, and the dudes would just come out of the locker room, shower, no towel. And I'll never forget Dominique Wilkins for the Atlanta Hawks. They called him the human highlight film because of his dunks. They could have easily called him human highlight film for some other reason because my Lord Almighty, my producer and I he comes out of the shower just like, hey, what's up, fellas? We're like, good Lord Almighty. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
yeah,
they don't do that here.
Good. Yeah, no, hockey players are a more humble, less ostentatious group, shall we say.
Yeah.
Deandra is with us. You can hear her on The Bone. You can hear her on Sirius XM. You can read her work on the Hockey News. She does amazing work, incredible insight. So what are we looking at tonight? Give me some reasons for optimism. The sky is far from falling.
Yeah.
How do we get it done tonight?
Well, like I said, and I asked the guys about this too, but I was reading, I think it's the last 6 times that these two teams have met in the postseason. Whoever scores first wins the game. So to me, that's a pretty cool stat.
Yeah.
They got to get on the board early and quick.
Yep.
And we've seen them do it multiple times this season, right? They'll get on the board and then they'll score like 3 goals after. They'll be up like 4-0, you know?
Right.
And obviously, it's not going to work like that in the postseason, but you do want to get up early, and I think that's going to be the key for them. Like, you know, in the playoffs, every team is so close as far as skill goes, right? They're both such good teams, especially these two. So, I think getting up early is the key, and using the momentum to kind of get them through. It's just they're going to take it like one period at a time, and they can't let these guys get in their head. That is the biggest thing for me with the Panthers, because they really dictate the way things go. And
yes.
That's their style of game. But then if you get them off of that, they start to spiral. They'll take penalties. They'll do all that stuff. They have no problem taking penalties.
No.
So, I think getting up on them a few goals, and then they'll be good.
Or just maybe throw a few girls down there. And
throw a few girls down there. Maybe that'll do
Distract that Kachuk jerk.
Yeah, right?
Thank you very much for being here. Follow her on social media. It's DIANDRALOUX.
Wow, Drew, you did that without looking.
I did. I'm amazing. We will step aside. We're going to come back. Ben Pierce will join us. We'll talk more Bolts hockey ahead of tonight's epic matchup with your Bolts and Panthers. Thank you, young lady. Nice to see you again. Tell your mama said hi, please.
I will.
And we'll be right back.
You're listening to Drew Garabo live on 102.5 The Bone. Tell us what you think. Head to the 102.5 The Bone app now and leave us an open mic. The Open Mic on the free 102.5 The Bone app is sponsored by 1-800-ASK-GARY. Now, a Bone traffic update from the Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center.
High wind advisory in effect, so caution on your Bay Area bridges. 275 south of Pinellas Point, now delayed 20 minutes to 26th Avenue. A crash into Tampa. Courtney Campbell eastbound past Rocky Point. Traffic is stop and go north of 15 minutes past Ben T. Davis Beach. 275 south in the downtown area, dealing with a wreck past Ashley Drive, back in traffic to the I-4 interchange and beyond. Rome Avenue northbound at Weishart Boulevard. A crash delaying you past River Shore Way. Southbound I-75, that earlier incident, still causing stop-and-go congestion toward I-4, back beyond Fletcher. 25-minute delay now, northbound 75 past Big Bend, delaying traffic beyond 19th Avenue. This is Eric with your traffic in the Farah and Farah Traffic Center.
Save time and money with mobile service at Jerry Ohm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They come to you and perform on-site simple repairs or routine maintenance. Schedule mobile service with Jerry Ohm today. Online at jerryohm.com. Tampa is Ohm country. See dealer for complete details.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Carlos, Cloud, and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
Ah, La Galleria.
And of course, American touches like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off. Plus, kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
It's the start of a new season of Raise deals, and they're so good, even Raymond is buying. Drive a new Honda Pilot, just $419 per month, or a new Honda Accord, just $319 per month. Even Raymond is buying. It's the start of a new season of Raise deals. Don't miss out. Claim your Raise deal today at Crown Honda, the better way to buy and service. Call 800-509-4942 for complete details.
The semi-annual event everyone waits for is here this weekend at International Diamond Center. Incredible savings across the board. Up to 20% off. Rings, bands, bracelets, earrings, pendants, plus thousands of designer engagement rings. Even all GIA certified diamonds are on sale. Acclaimed jewelry designers are here with all new collections. Save up to 20% and spread your payments over 3 years with zero interest. 3 days only this Friday through Sunday, and only at International Diamond Center, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota.
Suppressor Fest featuring Huxworks is back this Saturday, April 26th, only at Shark Coast Tactical. This is going to be a celebration of all things quiet. Will has a huge shipment and cutting deals on all Hux cans. And don't be that dude at the range with a loud 8R. Save your hearings with a Huxworks can. With a clean background check, the new norm is about 3 days for your tag stamp at Shark Coast. Get the Shark Coast Suppressor Fest featuring Huxworks this Saturday, April 26th. Shark Coast Tactical is often imitated, never duplicated. The shop is slinging freedom from 10 to 6 daily, closed on Sunday, but open online 24/7 at SharkCoastTactical.com.
Stingray Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Steve Hurley, owner of Stingray Chevrolet. With the economic landscape in a constant state of flux, consumers are understandably concerned about how car prices will be affected. While no one has a crystal ball to predict the future, I will say that if you're planning on purchasing a new vehicle in the next year, now would be a good time to pull the trigger. Luckily, our inventory here at Stingray is in great shape with over 700 new and pre-owned vehicles available, including a huge selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs. And since saving money is on the top of everyone's mind, remember that Stingray on I-4 has no dealer fee, and that automatically saves you $1,000 to $1,500. So while other dealers will charge a hefty fee on top of the advertised price of the vehicle, rest assured that you won't pay that here. StingrayChevrolet.com, Tampa Bay's big store on I-4. Exit 22, Plant City. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Stingray Chevrolet. Relax, enjoy the difference.
Looking for expert construction services in Tampa Bay? Waterman Construction Group is your go-to for commercial and residential projects. From demolition to new HVAC, patios, pavers, and driveways, they've got you covered. Whether it's a new build, remodel, or storm repair, Waterman Construction handles your project from start to finish with personalized service, honest pricing, and guaranteed same-day response. Visit watermanconstructiongroup.com or call 813-715-7383. Waterman Construction, your vision is their mission. Tell them Mike Caldesea.
There are 472 reasons to shop auto lenders in Palm Harbor. We call reason number 4 tariff freedom. Right now, almost all new and used cars are being hit with a 25% tariff. That's an added cost of about $6,000 more per vehicle. But at auto lenders, we get our vehicles in a totally innovative way. So you'll find the best one-owner cars, trucks, and SUVs, all tariff-free. Auto lenders was always thousands less. Now you'll save so much more. Visit us today in Palm Harbor.
Hi, folks. Phil Esposito here, Hockey Hall of Famer. Well, who knew that I was going to go a little bit deaf? I lost my hearing a little bit. People kept telling me, what's wrong with you? You can't hear. So guess what? They were right. I went to Audibel. Audibel took care of me. It was incredible. Audibel, they are terrific. And by the way, Audibel's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Book your free hearing test now at floridahearing.com. Hear better, live better.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims. And in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you a business owner who needs working capital to help grow and support your business? Do you know where the money's going to come from? Have you been turned down by a local bank? If you need working capital and need it now, call Easy Funding now. We provide up to $3 million in alternative financing to retailers, restaurants, hotels, and hundreds of different types of businesses. Unlike getting financing through a bank, our unique financing services are very flexible, with repayment plans customized to meet your needs and no minimum credit score required. Our underwriting is extremely fast, allowing approval in as little as 1 day. It's totally stress-free. If you've been in business for at least a year and have an annual revenue of $150,000 or more, pick up the phone and call Easy Funding now for a free, no-obligation consultation to see what you qualify for. Dial 800-700-1511. 800-700-1511. That's 800-700-1511.
Ruck, run, or walk it at the 3rd Annual Sergeant Anthony Patrick Malstat's Defender Ruck on June 7th. Choose the 5K, 2.2-mile Ruck Walk, or go virtual. Every step supports military mental health and suicide prevention, plus music, food, raffles, and more. Sign up now at defenderruck.com and use the code THEBONE for $10 off.
If you're hurt, accept no substitute. Call Farah and Farah, Tampa.
Climate Design Home Services. They really know their stuff. Climate Design has installed Trane heating and cooling systems for over 50 years. So put their experience to work for you. Visit climatedesign.com.
Now, a weather update from the Sun Toyota Weather Center.
I'm Fox 13 Chief Meteorologist Paul Delegato. More dry weather on the way. Clear skies, mild tonight, lows near 70. And another day on Friday, sunshine, high temperatures near 90. That trend continues through the weekend. Keep cool.
Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Now, back to Drew Garabo Live.
Oh, yeah. Perfect choice. We are about to get thunderstruck tonight, and we are joined by beat writer, manager of media relations for your Tampa Bay Lightning, also a co-host of the Into the Blue podcast, filling the well-coiffed hair of one Chris Kren. His name is Ben Pierce. Ben, nice to see you, young man.
Good to see you guys. What a night, right? Were you guys here for game one?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That pregame production was
unreal.
On best in the league.
Yeah.
It was, like, for me, my first playoff game here in Tampa, I'm sitting there like, let's rock.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
so
and that's where things peak, Ben.
Hey, well, you know what? That's why it's a 7-game series,
Yep.
right? So
Yeah.
hopefully tonight's a little bit better on the ice, and the guys are motivated. You could tell the last couple days in the locker room.
Yeah, so you had never been to a Bulls playoff game before that game?
No, that was my initiation.
Wow.
So for those of you out there, you can blame me. I am 0-1 officially as a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So
well, good thing hockey players and fans aren't superstitious.
Exactly. Just trying to get back to 500 tonight.
No, that's exactly it. I mean, I've called it a can't lose game as opposed to a must win. We worked so hard to get home ice advantage. We can't squander that. We've dissected the hell out of game one. Panthers were a more physical team. Vazzy was not the Vazzy that we've seen it was very difficult for him to do so with a mess in front of him. What else played into the absolute atrocity of Game 1?
Well, the biggest thing was you talk about the mess in front of Vasilevsky and the defense. Some people might assume that meant it was clogged in front. The issue was actually there was nobody in front of the net, especially on that Florida power play that went 3 for 3. You get 3 power play goals in a regular season game, you're probably winning. You do it in the playoffs, you're winning. And that was really the difference with special teams. And for the Tampa Bay Lightning, the good news is they were a top 5 team all year in both sides of special teams, so hopefully there's some positive regression coming there. But it was, if you look at the Tkachuk goals, both of them were wide open in front of the net. And that's a very, very, very good player in this league who loves going to that gritty spot in front of the net. You just can't have open ice there. The guys said it today and this morning in the locker room. I talked to 3 different guys. All of them said the same thing. We just have to make sure that Vasi can see. And part of that is making sure that there's not somebody wide open in front of him that's blocking that sight, whether it's for a shot or a pass down low. So just got to make sure that high danger area in front is protected. I think that's the biggest takeaway from Game 1.
Ben, what's the latest on Anthony Cirelli?
So game time decision. He's going to take warm-ups. We'll see how that goes. I would expect maybe that we'll see 13 or 12 forwards, I should say. We'll see who's out there. But obviously the Lightning like that 11-7 setup. So I would anticipate, regardless of Cirelli, we'll probably see that again tonight. But it does depend. He said we'll let him take the skate, and then we'll make a decision. So truly one of those game time decisions.
You and I were talking right before we came back on about the late start on Tuesday night, and you said you didn't get out of here until well after 1 o'clock in the morning. That had to, after a loss especially, that's got to really wear on you.
Well, it was a dark, quiet walk. I can put it that way, the walk to the parking garage. But, I thought the mentality of the guys, though, post-game, even in the media availability, they obviously didn't love the way that they played, but they also had a really good stability as far as, hey, listen, there's still 6 games left. This series is not over, and we're going to play these same guys 2 nights from now. So we'll see what happens, but, I like the confidence. It wasn't like, oh, my God, we lost. The world is crashing. You didn't feel any of that sense at all.
Yeah, I think watching the Bolts in the last couple of playoff runs, especially the ones where they went to 3 consecutive Stanley Cup finals, winning 2 of them, we learned that 1 loss does not a series make. You can lose a first game and then still find your footing. It's just that this Panthers team, defending Stanley Cup champions, they know how to win, and they know how to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning by getting to Nikita Kucherov. Kind of got in his head a little bit, I think, in Game 1. Do you see him coming out with more fire and focus in Game 2?
Well, I think one of the things that makes Nikita Kucherov so great is when he does have an off game, 9 times out of 10, look out, because the next night he's motivated by that, and you saw that in the regular season this year. He wasn't held off the score sheet very often, but oftentimes the game after the 0 point, and he had a point, right? He had an assist the other night, but the game after that was 4 points, 3 points, 4 assists. He's motivated when he doesn't think that he had his best performance. And that's a guy who's going to want to come out. I think that whole top line really is going to want to come out and have a bigger impact tonight.
Ben Pierce joins us, beat writer for your Tampa Bay Lightning. What are your keys for victory other than what we just mentioned? What do we really need to get done tonight to even the series at 1 game apiece, Ben?
Well, I think the biggest thing is don't chase, right? We saw, I think, a little bit the physicality in the first game. Florida is known for being a physical team. The Lightning did say they didn't feel worn down or they weren't intimidated by that. But sometimes in a physical game, you find yourself chasing to finish a check. And maybe if you chase a check, all of a sudden the puck's going the other way, you've got 1 less body to defend. So just making sure you're picking your spots for your hits, when you should maybe make a move at the blue line, and when it's smarter just to chip the puck in, right? Live for another fight. I think that's the biggest thing, is just play smart hockey. It's a team that's done it for 82 games this year, and just get back to what makes you so good. Play smart, disciplined hockey, and they should be just fine.
Yeah, Deandra was just on with us, pointed out how important it is to get that first goal, because the team that gets a first goal, especially in this series against the Panthers, it usually goes on to win the game.
Well, you always want to score the first one, right? I mean, it's a lot easier to play when you're ahead. But the good news for the Lightning, actually, is something that I don't know if a lot of people know. Game 1 is the worst game in franchise history all time for playoffs. It is the only situation where the Lightning have a losing record. Game 2 is their second best behind only Game 7. Tampa Bay is 13-7 all time in the second game of 7-game series that have been played at home. And that's their most in any game situation. Oh. So there is some hope. The history shows it. The numbers show it. I would just say don't give up on this group, because in a series that they trail 1-0 that begin at home. This team has won 8 of those 12 series all time.
Okay.
So they've shown they can do it. They're not intimidated by it, and they haven't been historically. So there's still plenty of hope, still plenty of hockey to be played.
Corey, when he sat down, I said, Ben, give us a reason to find some optimism in tonight's game. I believe young Ben Pierce has given us that jolt of optimism we needed.
He did. He definitely did.
Thank you, Ben. We appreciate that very much. Let's get this win tonight. Let's go Bolts. Let's get out of here a lot earlier for you tonight than you did the other night. Anything else we need to know about tonight's matchup?
I think bear down. We saw a lot of physicality game one. I'd expect a motivated Lightning group tonight. So I tell you what, I don't care what time we get out of here as long as it ends with a Lightning W. So we'll take that regardless.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded staying until the end of the game had we won. But when we were down 5-1, I had no problem leaving early. That's just that's an angry walk to the car. And let's have a more jubilant stroll, if not skip, to our vehicles this evening.
I love it. Let's do it.
Appreciate you, young man. Thank you.
Thanks,
Good to see you. Ben
Appreciate
Pierce,
it.
if you need him, you'll catch him actually on the pregame show coming up on 102.5 The Bone. So if you got attached to Ben's voice, you'll hear him again with Greg Linnelli, the Lightning Insider, Eric Erlinson, and more coming up right here on 102.5 The Bone. As we get ready, the doors are open. The fans are streaming in. We're going to find some seats. You're sticking around for the game, right, Corey?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because it would be ridiculous not to. I was just thinking about the Stanley Cup final game that we stuck around illicitly for. Thanks, Ben. That we stuck around illicitly for, and how amazing it was to watch the Bolts hoist Lord Stanley Cup on the ice.
I've been in this building for a numerous amount of concerts. That game that night was the loudest I had ever heard it in this building.
Yeah.
It was so loud, and you could tell the point where we knew we won this thing. We're hoisting it, because from that point on, like, everybody was just loud.
Bedlam.
Yeah.
And I've said it before, I'll say it again, well worth getting COVID for.
Oh, yeah.
That was a super spreader event, and I absolutely can pinpoint my first batch of COVID to that clinching game. But, I would do it again. If you told me, hey, the Bolts are going to win the Stanley Cup this year, but you're going to get COVID,
right?
I don't even care if it's long COVID. Bring it on.
I'll take COVID for a year if that's the case. Come on.
You say that now.
Give me all the strands.
All right, Maurice, how are things back there in St. Petersburg?
Looking good. We've got about 7 minutes, fellas.
7 minutes is great for me. Excellent. Glad to hear. I tell you, this early game, I was worried about it being too early, but those fears were unfounded. People are psyched, ready to go, ready to cheer on the Bolts, and I imagine a lot of people will be listening on their rides home throughout the Tampa Bay area, right here in booming stereo. It's so cool having the games on FM radio. I remember, I don't know where the Magic broadcasts now, but they used to broadcast actually on a Cox station, WDBO, and it was an AM station, 580. And I will tell you, AM radio, not exactly the rich, booming sound that you get right here on the Bone. There is something so cool about being able to drive anywhere from like Haines City down south to like Fort Myers almost, up north through Pasco up to like Hernando County, and to be able to hear Lightning hockey. It's a great partnership we have. I'm really, really, really enthused about this partnership. I hope it continues for years to come. I remember starting to hear rumors about it because we presented to them a couple of years ago and didn't get it.
Right.
And it hurt. Like, I wanted it so badly that it really hurt me at the time. I was like, man, how could they not go with us? And then lick my wounds. And then just a couple of years later, you started to hear rumors about it again, like, hey, the Bone might be getting the Bolts games. I'm like, well, man, what's that going to look like? And there was one dissenting voice, and it was Mo. Mo said, you ain't touching my night show, Vinnick. And look what happened. We got the Bolts, and they booted Mo out of nights. Good Lord. Well, I guess there's attrition that happens everywhere, huh, Maurice?
Yes, sir.
But it's going to be a great one tonight. Look for the Bolts to even this thing up. Look for us to score early.
Speaking on that, can I interject?
Yeah.
Do you think this is a game that ostensibly could be decided in the first period?
If no team scores more than 3 goals, no. But if the Bolts go up 3-0, or I dare not speak into existence if the Panthers should happen to get a robust lead. Not over per se, but I kind of knew in game one, once the Panthers scored the third goal, that we were not climbing out of that deficit. But Browski is too good of a goalie to let that happen. He's not going to surrender a 3-goal lead. But anything short of that, 2-0 Bolts, 2-0 Panthers, no, it will not be over early. I would just love to see the opposite of what we saw on Tuesday night, which is a raucous crowd, a jubilant crowd, having all of the air taken out of the building by an early Panthers goal. It was like it went from everybody losing it, going crazy, to that first goal going in, and you could have heard a mouse fart. Well, I mean, it was just...
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that the fans should be cognizant of the fact that perhaps that could affect the players mentally? Perhaps if they keep that raucous energy up, even in the face of a deficit, that's actually beneficial to the players on the ice.
Great point. Yes, I think the players do feed off of the crowd noise a lot. Not that a lack of crowd noise would have them give up, but I think if people are screaming their freaking lungs out, I definitely think that makes it an in-hospital environment for the Kitty Cats of Florida. Mike O just sat down with us getting ready for tonight's game. Mike O, game one was brutal. Is this a must-win game two?
Well, like you said, it's a can't lose. And what did we say the other night, though? As soon as Kucherov touches the puck, there's 2 guys on him. Was I wrong? I mean, it's just what happens. And then you put the physicality in there. I mean, our guys hit too. But the one thing the Lightning improved over the last few years, which is unfortunate, as soon as you start hitting them, they don't like it. It gets them off their game. That's the recipe for success against them. Now, the great thing is they have quickness, and they're tough guys too. But they got to change the game plan a little bit. I mean, just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Whatever we were doing in game one clearly was not working, and Florida's ready for us.
No, and look, we had 82 games of success, so, I mean, this shouldn't be new, and it shouldn't be just like, oh, my God, we're in the playoffs, or the Stanley Cup champion. Crap. Get out there, hit somebody in the teeth.
Yeah.
Score a goal.
Yeah, hit that.
Vasi can't let in soft goals, too, but, I mean, that's the defense. The defense totally did him in.
Yeah, and Vasi just was not Vasi. Again, tough when there's garbage in front of him, but he was not the Vasi that we know and love. Tonight, he will be, and we will get this win, Mike O.
Tampa Win Cup.
And then Saturday, make sure you join the pre-game show live out at Furman in Palm Harbor for, hold on, I got this. Kitties.
Kitties.
Kitties and minis.
There you go. For the Humane Society Pinellas.
Yeah, they're great people.
Hey, Corey only does the website. All the copies are there. No big deal. I mean, they can remember it or anything.
The Humane Society of Pinellas County is
Just
awesome.
Copy and paste.
Well, that's all I was about to say. All I do is copy paste.
2 minutes, Drew.
Thank you, Maurice. Appreciate that. So
Thanks,
get on
Ray.
out there Saturday, Ray. We figured out, Corey figured out, actually, he thinks that Steve Weintraub was talking about Ray Lampy.
No,
Dr.
he meant me.
What he said.
Definitely a cat named Ray.
Bring Ray. Bring Ray. I was like, does he think Mo was Ray? Georgia!
A gay named Ray. There you go.
All right. Thank you, Mike O.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Corey
it.
Cardinal.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Corey.
Thank you, Maurice.
Thank you, Drew.
Thank you very much to Dave Randorf, to Deandra Liu, and to Ben Pierce for stopping by and dropping a little hockey knowledge on us. We got a big one tonight. You can listen to it right here on 102.5 The Bone, so don't go anywhere. If you can't be in front of a TV, listen to the game on the radio, or, put the TV on and still listen to the game on the radio, because as good as Randorf and Engblom are they Michigan and Esposito? They are certainly not. And Audubell is a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
60 seconds.
What's wrong with you? You can't hear. All right, stick around. Bolt Hockey next. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow, where we will celebrate the Dirty Dozen anniversary of the greatest gift that the radio gods have ever given me, when the Dick's Sporting Goods moved in to the West Shore Mall and Saks moved out. So tomorrow we celebrate Dick's in, Saks out.
But, off with their dicks, right?
Indeed, because now they're gone too.
Yeah.
Stick around for Bolts Hockey. Thanks a lot for listening. Appreciate it. Let's go, Bolts. Tampa Win Cup. Thank you so much. Good night now.
You're listening to Drew Garabo live on 102.5 The Bone. Barbecue Love Fest is back.
Woo! I smell barbecue.
It's the celebration of all things barbecue, good times, and cooking for a cure. Barbecue Love Fest, May 3rd from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Perry Harvey Park in downtown Tampa. Get samples of the best barbecue from over 20 cooking teams, over 7 renowned pitmasters from across the country, and live music. Eat barbecue, vote on the best cook team, and watch live music outside at the nicest time of the year. What's better than that? Join the Bone Saturday, May 3rd. And it's the day of the Derby. There'll be coverage of the Kentucky Derby all day. Hey, you can even wear a big dumb hat. Proceeds benefit Friedrich's Ataxia Research Alliance. Get your tickets early right now at theboneonline.com. 102.5 The Bone. Real, raw radio. Now, a Bone traffic update from the Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center.
That crash is now delaying you over a half hour on the Courtney Campbell eastbound into Tampa beyond Rocky Point. Traffic is stop and go all the way past the Causeway Shelter at the moment. Expect backups on your other 2 bridges into Tampa because of that. 275 south of Pinellas Point, northbound, also around 375, both delayed. Crash with lane blockage eastbound Tampa Road at Forest Lakes. Still expect 275 north and the Selman northbound, both into downtown to congest. Thankfully, I-75 looks better, southbound toward I-4 and northbound past Big Bend. Other delays look standard for this late afternoon. This is Eric in the Farah Traffic Center.
You know, it's interesting. Car insurance commercials tend to focus on the simple fixes. A busted windshield, a banged up bumper. What about the human damages like pain and suffering? Farah and Farah, Tampa's accident attorneys won't let big insurance forget about your pain. For a Farah fight, you know who to call. Tampa.
This weekend at International Diamond Center, acclaimed jewelry designers are here with all new collections. Save up to 20% and spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest. 3 days only this Friday through Sunday, and only at International Diamond Center, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota.
John Setting here for Wild Fork Foods. I'm a Wild Fork man. I am very passionate about all the different cuts of meats, the sides, the seasonings, the desserts, everything they have to offer at Wild Fork. This past weekend, I made some mini burgers with that 80-20 blend, the mini brioche buns, grillable cheese, but they've got whatever you're looking for. You can shop online and get it delivered, pick it up in store, or just go on a shopping spree. They've got locations in South Tampa, Citrus Park, and St. Pete on 4th Street North. Check them out today at wildforkfoods.com.
A lot of people whose homes were severely damaged by Helene and Milton are still trying to figure out whether they should repair their home, tear it down and rebuild, or lift their home. There are a lot of important decisions to make. Well, let me take one decision off your plate. If you need replacement windows and doors, just call WeatherTight Windows. They are the local experts when it comes to windows and doors. So skip the big box stores and call WeatherTight Mike.
WeatherTightWindows.com. WeatherTight Windows.
Avery is the new girl in town. She's got a new job, a new apartment, and she really wants to hit the ground running. Or planking, maybe. But the best move she's made so far is banking with Mid-Florida Credit Union, who gave her a cool $200 for opening a new free checking account. Hello, new yoga outfit. And her financial worries, they've moved elsewhere. Mid-Florida, your life, your money, your credit union. 0.00% annual percentage yield. $50 minimum to open account. Membership, credit, and eligibility apply and must be met within 60 days. Insured by NCUA.
This Ram Truck Month, Jerry Ohm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is making it easier than ever to get behind the wheel of a new Ram. With over 1,000 vehicles in stock and 0 down, 0% APR, and 0 payments for 90 days during our Zero to Ohm sales event. Plus, we're proud to sponsor the Country Thunder Music Festival in May. It's all happening at the #1 Ram dealer in the U.S., Jerry Ohm. Tampa is Ohm Country. Online at jerryohm.com. Call 1-800-840-0798 for complete details.
2001 Odyssey is Tampa's #1 nude club on Florida's West Coast with over 300 of the hottest exotic dancers. 2001 Odyssey has been voted the #1 nude club by Best of the Bay. Check out the world-famous 2001 spaceship and encounter the wildest dancing in Tampa Bay. The after party happens every night. Full liquor next door. 2001 Odyssey, 275 in Raymond James Stadium on Dale Mabry, better known as The Strip.
Have you heard of the new Hard Rock Bet bet Battle of the Bets yet, it's a lot of fun, and there's at least $250,000 in bonus bets on the line every single day. That's the minimum, and it grows fast. All you have to do is pick a side for $1. There's a new battle every day. Matchups like favorites versus underdogs, overs versus unders, Florida versus the world. If your side wins for the day, you not only get your cash winnings, you split all those bonus bets. Check it out on the Hard Rock Bet app. Download it now on Google or iPhone, or simply go to hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. To wager, terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 888-ADMIT-IT.
At Brandon Honda, get 0 down, 0 security deposit, 0 first payment, 0 do-it signing. Hi, I'm Sam Robbie. Get a brand new CRV for just $199 per month. New Accords are just $189 per month, or get a new Civic for an incredible $169 per month. We're approving all credit applications, and we'll pay off your trade no matter how much you owe. Plus, get a real nationwide lifetime warranty, unlimited time, unlimited miles. Get all the facts at BrandonHonda.com.
Call 813-575-7725 for more information.
Mom and Dad seem different after a European-style holiday on MSC Cruises.
Call us Cloud and Yvette.
The ship had restaurants, shops, and nightlife.
La Galleria.
And of course, American touches like an aqua park and a sweets shop.
American je ne sais quoi.
Mom, you're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Kevin.
Book now and save up to 30% off, plus kids sale free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Avoid the stress of preparing to sell your home with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You can skip the hassle of spring cleaning and sell your home fast and for maximum value. Hey, it's JP, and don't worry about showings, open houses, or costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer allows you to bypass the market. You'll receive an all-cash offer and close within days. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home fast with their guaranteed cash offer. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
This April is your last chance to max your tax refund at Sun Toyota. Bring us your rebate and we'll double it up to $3,000. Then get 0% financing on select new Toyota trucks. Backed by a nationwide lifetime warranty with 4-year maintenance on new models. Hurry in today or shop online at suntoyota.com. Because when you make it Sun Toyota,
we make it happen.
Sun Toyota.com. Call 1-800-639-3367 for more information.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Great Scott! Back to the Future is now on stage, and it's a jaw-dropping spectacle raves USA Today. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious entertainment. April 29th through May 4th at Straz Center. Get your tickets yesterday at strazcenter.org.
For pure safety and total clean, call the experts at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Their ZR water technology replaces those old school chemicals and harsh soaps, leaving your carpets cleaner longer. Right now, you can get 3 rooms for the price of 2. That's 3 rooms clean, but you only pay for 2 when you mention me, Mike Calta. Book online at ZeroResTampaBay.com and ask about Zero Res commercial cleaning too. Zero Res, all they leave is clean.
A lot of people, when they come in, they'll say, this is my last hope. The next step is getting them in the right arch supports. Our goal is to have that long-term change for them, to see someone that is in pain. I change things for them. See how we can help you with a free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Drinking and driving don't mix. If you've been injured by a drunk driver, we're Bernetti PA and we sue drunk drivers. We know you may not have been ready. Call 1-800-BERNETTI. We're ready. Offices Tampa, Lakeland, and Pinellas.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoe horn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Tune in for Reinventing Retirement, where premier wealth managers and retirement specialists discuss the most important and crucial retirement topics for your benefit. Reinventing Retirement, Saturdays at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 9 a.m. and again at 11 a.m. Only on 102.5 The Bone.
The Bone, WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete, and 107.3 WXGL HD2 St. Pete. The Bone is the official Tampa Bay Lightning radio station.
3, 2, 1.
It begins.
All systems go.
Right now on The Bone, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
The following is a presentation of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Game 1 against the Florida Panthers Tuesday night was a beatdown. The Tampa Bay Lightning never got to their game and didn't look like one of the best teams in the league. The Panthers did, and the final score reflected that. The good news for the Lightning is tonight is a new game. Even up the series, and now you have a confident group heading on the road. Lose tonight and go down 0-2, well, let's just say you'll have some problems. The Lightning have been a resilient group over the years, and you would expect a championship-like response tonight. The question becomes, does it happen? We'll find out next. Coming up in our pregame show, we're going to hear from Gabby Shirley, Eric Erlinson, Ben Pierce, Bobby the Chief Taylor, John Cooper, Dave Mishkin, the Hall of Famer Phil Esposito, and so much more. It's the Lightning and Panthers, and it's happening right here on Lightning Radio.
High slot, Kucherov! Score! Hat-trick! Nikita Kucherov! Nikita score! What a goal by Brandon Boyd!
What a goal that was. The 2025 postseason on the Lightning Audio Network is presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Score! Hagel! Dagger!
Now with the Lightning Audio Network pregame report, here's Greg Linnelli.
And good evening, everyone. Glad you're with us as we get you set for Lightning and Panthers. Greg Linnelli with you. Round 1, Game 2. By the way, Anthony Cirelli out taking warm-ups. That is a good sign. We'll see if he's in the lineup. We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast tonight. Lots to get to. Of course, the Lightning looking to rebound from Game 1. Listen, that was a bad one, no doubt about it. You give credit to the Panthers. They got to their game early and often, and the Lightning never were able to really find their groove, and it showed. The Panthers' forecheck was better. They forced the Lightning into some uncomfortable situations and played the game that they needed to take Game 1. Now it's a 7-game series, as you all know, but the Lightning understand you don't want to go down 0-2. So what do we expect tonight? Time will tell, but you've got to think a little more focus and a little more inspired team tonight for the Lightning. And the Panthers, no doubt, got a big-time boost from Matthew Tkachuk. Look, the talk coming in to this series was, would he be able to play? Because of his lower body injury. He came back, scored a couple of goals. John Cooper talked about what Tkachuk meant to the Panthers after the game.
You know, he takes the penalty in the first period that we score on, but then he scores 2 power play goals. So, you know, Matthews, he's good in the power play, like really good. And he knows what he's doing down there. And yeah, I'm not sure. I think we kind of gave him the second one. You know, we threw it right on his stick, but you know, we got to be better at that. I mean, we have a pretty darn good penalty kill, and
they do. They gave up 3 power play goals, though, and that's concerning. One way to avoid that happening is don't take the penalties. But when you are in the sin bin, you've got to be able to kill it off, at least in Game 1. Advantage Panthers. By the way, last time Tampa Bay had given up 3 power play goals in a game was during the regular season last year. Panthers were 3 for 4 in a 9-2 win over the Lightning on February 17, 2024. And Ryan McDonough said, look, defensively, we just weren't good enough in front of Assy.
Not exactly sure what the chances were. I mean, you get guys sitting on the doorstep
putting it in and rebounds, open nets and stuff. So we've got to do a job in front of Assy there. Let him see the puck first and foremost and clear the front of the net. It's a big emphasis here against this team, and we can be better there.
For sure. Got to be better in front. Panthers were aggressive, had their forecheck going, and the Lightning didn't handle it particularly well. You've got to expect a bounce-back game defensively from the Lightning. But Brandon Hagel also knows, listen, it was one game. We are not going to overreact.
We've had a tremendous penalty kill all year. I mean, I don't know. We're not going to doubt that by no means. It is what it is. It happened. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, no one in here expected us to win 4 straight games. You're going to need to win on the road to win a series. God forbid we lost 1 game at home.
It's a valid point, but you got to improve in game 2, and that's, I think, what everybody's going to be watching for tonight. If you are a Lightning fan, no doubt about that. But this team is pretty good at self-correcting. They've done that under John Cooper for a number of years, and I think he understands that he's hoping for the same.
It's hard to say that there's a specific formula for that because every year is different. Your teams are different. The one thing you do get to kind of rely on a little bit is history, you know, how our players have dug in, and they're pretty receptive to what has not worked well and mistakes we've made and then correcting them.
And that's the hardest thing. Understanding you're making mistakes, but what are you doing to correct them? And the Lightning, as I said, have been really good about that over the years. By the way, when the Bolts win, you win too. Download or log into the Chick-fil-A app by midnight after a home win and enjoy a free Chick-fil-A entree, offer redeemable within 24 hours of a win when you scan the app or place a mobile order at any participating Tampa Bay area location. 1 offer per person, the official chicken sandwich of our Tampa Bay Lightning. All right. Before we get to E and Bobby the Chief Taylor in our next segment, we've got Gabby Shirley standing by with JJ Moser on Lightning Radio.
JJ, you had your first taste of postseason hockey on Tuesday. Obviously, the game did not go the way you wanted it to go. But did you learn anything about yourself or about your team that can help you as you move forward in this series?
I mean, the first game was obviously a special one. I was very excited, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, when it comes to the game, yeah, like you said, it wasn't the ideal game, but I think we stuck with it, and it's a long series, and I think if we learn something through the whole regular season is that we have the persistency and we have the confidence and to believe in our team that yeah, on the long run we're going to get it.
6 goals against. What are the keys to better protecting that area in front of your own net?
I mean, it's just winning the battles. It's just working from the inside out and not leaving the good eyes in front of our goalie.
After that loss, Ryan McDonough said he feels that your team can get to another level. How do you do that tonight?
I mean, just focus on the little details. Do that right. Don't think too much. Just, yeah, do what we have to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck in Game 2.
Thanks, Gabby. And thank you, JJ. The Chase for the Cup is on, and we've got you covered. Get the latest on tickets, watch parties, or legendary plaza celebrations, and all the incredible events that bring the Bolts Nation together. Visit TampaBayLightning.com/2025 playoffs for the latest info. We've got Bobby the Chief Taylor and Eric Erlinson up next. Lightning and Panthers coming up in 20 minutes on Lightning Radio.
Tampa Bay. Who celebrates your Tampa Bay Lightning with an official Bolts debit card? We do. That's right. Join GTE Financial and get a free Bolts debit card on us. More than just banking, GTE offers our members a full financial lineup. From lending to insurance and business services, we do everything with a personal touch. Bolt into every match with GTE Financial, the official credit union of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Visit our website and use promo code BOLTSCARD to get your free Bolts debit card today.
Check out the Tampa Bay Lightning's all-inclusive girls-only hockey development programs presented by Raymond James. These programs and events are designed for girls of all ages and skill levels and are run by Team USA Women's National Team alumnus Kelly Stedman. Whether you're new to hockey or just want to learn how to skate, we have the perfect program for you. Visit lightninghockeydevelopment.com/girlshockey for a complete list of programming.
Hi, folks. Phil Esposito here, Hockey Hall of Famer. Well, who knew that I was going to go a little bit deaf? I lost my hearing a little bit, People kept telling me, what's wrong with you? You can't hear. So guess what? They were right. I went to Audibel. Audibel took care of me. It was incredible. Audibel, they are terrific. And by the way, Audibel's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Book your free hearing test now at floridahearing.com. Hear better, live better.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
John Senning here for Solar Bear. Power bills just went up again, and guess what? They're not coming back down. But at Solar Bear, they've got a better way. Go solar now and get your first 12 months completely free. That is right, no power payments for an entire year. Solar Bear is locally owned, going 10 years strong, and trusted by thousands with 5-star reviews across the state of Florida. Don't keep renting your power. Call Solar Bear or visit solarbear.com and own your energy without the rate hikes.
This little piggy wasn't affected by the market. This little piggy had protected funds. This little piggy locked in college costs. This little piggy had a 1-year plan. And all the little piggies went wee to college land.
Before you know it, those tiny feet will be off to college. Save the smartest way with a Florida 529 prepaid plan. Unlike a regular savings account, the funds are dedicated and guaranteed to cover tuition costs. So when they're ready to go, you are too. Prepaid plans start at $29 a month. Open enrollment ends April 30th.
Hey everyone, Adnan and Burke here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Follow the Lightning Audio Network on X. Search Sports Radio and hit follow.
Do a better job starting, that second period and not give up 3 goals. And for us, it's all about the small details in our game that's made us successful throughout the regular season. So we gotta bring that back into our game next game.
Victor Hedman talking about what this team needs to do defensively. Pre-game show continues. Greg Linnelli with you, getting you set for Game 2 tonight. Lightning and Panthers, and here to talk about it, none other than Bobby the Chief Taylor and Eric Erlinson. Boys, it's great to be with you. Chief, this comes down to you got to defend.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else will take care of itself, but you got to be hard to play against, don't you?
Exactly. I think you can't just keep. I mean, they only had 16 shots on net.
Yeah.
But they were all wide open. I mean, come on. And 3 power play goals, with 1 shot on each power play. I mean, it was an abominable game in a sense for what we're used to seeing.
Right.
Even when they're struggling to play well, their penalty kill has always been really, really good. But time and space, you got to take it away. And that's what I thought Florida did a really good job against the Lightning. They took time and space away from the Lightning.
One of the big questions coming into this game was Anthony Cirelli's health. At least initially, he's out there during warm-ups.
Yep, I had a feeling that at least he was going to be out there and test it, and looked like he went through his regular line rushes. We'll see what it looks like. Mitchell Chafee was out there as well, so if Cirelli can't go, or if maybe they go 12-6 tonight because of the fact that you lost Cirelli, if there's a question mark. So we'll see what the lineup looks like. But the fact that he's out there, that's positive, right? We know how important he is to this lineup, the minutes that he plays, the role that he plays. I mean, he missed the PKs, right? All 3 of those power play goals were scored without Cirelli available. And I don't know if it would have made much of a difference considering the way that they were scored, but he is a big part of what it is they do on the penalty kill. And look, you're going to get injuries throughout the course of a playoffs, and if you make it all the way to where you want to go, you're going to have to deal with this stuff. Unfortunate to happen in Game 1 where you lost him, but positive sign to at least see him on the ice that it's not something that is necessarily going to keep you out long term.
Maybe a subtle change. It looks like, at least from earlier today, Gonsalves on the first line.
Yeah.
What do you make of that, Chief, if that sticks?
Well, you know what? It gives them a different look. You know, you got a shooter over there, too. You know, that's the one thing that's been really, really going to be good for him, is making sure that he shoots it.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, even getting Cirelli back, you have a better chance of getting more 50-50 on the face-offs. I mean, they got killed in the face-off circle last game, too. That's another thing that has to be straightened out. And I think one of the reasons they got 3 power play goals is because they lost every face-off. So, you know what? I think they just have to be more aware. I mean, they said, oh, yeah, we knew that we were going to get a heavy game, but I don't think they thought they were going to get that heavy a game from the Panthers.
And Paul Maurice said he didn't think it was a heavy game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of gives you an indication of what the Panthers thought of it.
Too, though. Yeah, right.
Oh, for sure. Paul's very good at that.
Well, you know, and we talked about this on the show, and you guys did as well. The Panthers they never let the Lightning get to their game, but they got to their game pretty quickly, didn't they?
They did. You know, the Lightning had about a 5-6 minute stretch where it was their game, right? The puck retrieval was there, the forecheck was there. They were spending time in the zone, couldn't capitalize on those opportunities they had it. But then once Florida got to their game, Tampa Bay never got to theirs.
No.
And look, Paul Maurice set that up perfectly before he said whichever team can impose their will on the other is probably going to have a good chance to win the series.
Yeah.
And it was very fortuitous for game 1 because that's exactly how it played out.
Sure.
And the Lightning have to get to it. They have to have a response on more than a couple levels tonight. I think the urgency level obviously has to be up. You're down 1-0 in the series. I think the physical response has to be there as well, right? We talked about that. You know, Florida takes some runs at some guys, and, you know, you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to answer for that because that is a big part of playoff hockey. So you have to have – there's about 3 or 4 things on the checklist the Lightning are going to have to respond to tonight to give themselves and put themselves in a position to even this series up.
Chief, what are you looking for early on in this game that's going to signal to you, hey, the Lightning are ready to go?
Yeah, the thing would be, you know, obviously is the forecheck.
Yeah.
You know, how fast you get in on that offensive zone. You know, what you say, you know, there used to be first guy takes the man, second guy takes the puck. And I had an old coach that you say, I want that puck in the corner. I want you to ride there in ill humor.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And you don't have, the thing was, there wasn't one of those, oh my gosh, wow, what a hit that was. It was just a complete pin job every single time.
Get on them.
You passed the puck, they pinned you. If you had the puck, they pinned you. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
We talk about this, or I have anyway, for years. It's the fact that if you want to just skate, it's an easy game because you're conditioned for that. But if you have to push a 200-pounder off every single time you're out there, you get tired.
That wears on you.
So I think let's see if we can tire them out.
How about you?
I know what the hit total showed on the stat sheet the other night, 48-28 advantage for Florida. It felt a little skewed to me. They always seem to get inflated at the playoffs. But it was the quality of some of those hits that Florida laid, right? And just to Chief's point about, you know, sending that message and be like it. You see that guy coming at you. It takes a lot out of you to try and hold up, or, you know, if you're going to get knocked down, I mean, you got to get yourself back up. And, you know, that's part of Florida's strategy here is to do that continuously. And if, you know, the series goes on, you hope that you wear down your opponent. It's an old age adage. In playoff hockey, try and wear a team down throughout the course of a series. So again, that's where the Lightning are going to have to make sure that they understand how Florida's going to come and how to withstand that, and maybe push them back a little bit, right? That's the kind of the thing that I'm looking for here early. How quick will Florida try and set that tone, and can Tampa Bay set their own tone?
They're going after Cooch. They're going after Point. So go after Reinhart, go after Bennett, and Kachuk. Kachuk's got a very, very quick trigger. Get him upset.
It's okay to hit the other team.
Yeah.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't hit me, though. All right, boys. Bobby the Chief Taylor, Eric Rollinson with us right there. Cleaning the Crease, presented by Janet King, proud commercial cleaning partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Of course, same goaltenders in tonight that were in Game 1. The Lightning Playoffs Round 1 matchup gear is available now in store at Amalie Arena and online at TampaBaySports.com while supplies last. Ben Pierce, Brian Engblom up next, getting you set for Lightning and Panthers coming up in about 10 minutes on Lightning Radio.
You can listen to Dave Mishkin and Phil Esposito's radio call live in your seats at Amalie Arena in the Lightning mobile app. Select Listen Live from your seat and follow the directions. You'll never miss Mishkin screaming score or Espo yelling shoot the puck while you cheer on the Bolts from your seat.
On this week's episode of the Bolts Block Party, powered by High Ally IPA, Wolfie and Kobe, and we caught up with the Lightning color analyst of our broadcast, Brian Engblom.
We talked about his run with the Habs. 3 Stanley Cups.
Great locker room stories as well.
And, of course, his transition from NHL player to NHL broadcaster.
Taking pucks and sticks to the face while trying to run a broadcast.
Warrior.
Lots going on this week on the Bolts Block Party podcast. Download it wherever you guys get your favorite podcasts.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me, I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around the store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting. And the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit any of our 5 locations throughout Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Sarasota, and at goodfeet.com.
Cat named Mo for Crunch Fitness, where you can join now for $0 enrollment. Membership started at $9.99 a month. Go to crunch.com, where you can also find out about the tons of strength and cardio equipment to make you lean or pack on muscle for the upcoming summertime. $0 enrollment. How do you beat free with membership starting again at $9.99 a month? With nearly 500 locations nationwide, you will have no trouble finding a convenient gym close by. Go to crunch.com for the location nearest you and get crunched. Hurry, offer ends 4:30. This is a cat named Mo from Drew Garabo Live. Prime time, baby. I am the first Mo, but there is a second Mo, and he is the Mo that will help you if you need a personal injury attorney. It's Tampa attorney Mo DeWitt. Here he is to say one word because I've used up all the time. Hi. That's it. You got one word. Don't he sound sexy? 800, call Mo with an E. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.
Non-attorney spokesperson, offices Tampa.
That's Mo with an E.
The Lumineers. The Automatic World Tour. October 8th at Amalie Arena. With special guest Chance Pena. Tickets on sale now through Ticketmaster. The Lumineers pick up their new album Automatic, out now.
You're listening to the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Lightning Radio.
Glad you're with us here as our pregame show continues. Greg Linnelli with you. Game 2 tonight here at Amalie Arena between Tampa Bay and Florida. Lightning trying to even up this series at 1 apiece, and we've talked a lot about what happened in Game 1. In many ways, let's move on from that. But before we do, Brian Engblom, current Lightning TV announcer, former NHL defenseman, Stanley Cup champ, one of the more accomplished analysts in the game that we have, had a chance to join Dave Mishkin and me earlier today on Power Lunch on Lightning Radio. You can listen to that show weekdays, Monday through Friday from noon to 1. We also are doing shows Saturday and Sunday as well, so really extending that radio coverage for you, and we give you what we think is the best Lightning content around. We have interviews, we have interactions with our audience, and it's a lot of fun breaking it down with you guys who listen to the Lightning and are so passionate. But we had Brian on earlier today, and I wanted to play a snippet of that conversation with you right now on Lightning Radio.
Certainly don't want to go down 0-2, which means this game tonight has a lot of meaning, doesn't it?
For sure. It's about, handling the situation game to game. As soon as one is over, you start the next one. And Brandon Hagel's impersonation of Mike Babcock, I loved it. That was from back in the day. The sun woke up. Today's game 2. It made me laugh when I heard it right off the bat. But he's right. Whether a lot of times it's more painful to lose in double overtime than it is to lose, and get whacked. And they ended up getting whacked. So sometimes it really just clears the air. We know about the power play goals and that the penalty kill wasn't very good. Cirelli wasn't there, and that's a big miss. Overall, I think he's their best penalty killer except for Vasilevsky. So that was a big miss. But when you come down to it, by halfway through the game, it was just one of those games where Lightning really couldn't do much right, and Florida couldn't do anything wrong. It got to that point. I know that, having said that, there were games, Dave, parts of that game, most of the game, I just hated it. I'm just going to say it right outright. I hated that game. I was in between the benches, the stuff that was going on, the stuff that was being said, the feel of the game. And I know what the players have said. I know what the coaches have said. And maybe for, 7, 8, 9 minutes total in the game, where the Lightning got their game going, we're playing pretty well. I know what the shots against says. Yeah, they didn't give them much. But for me, that was the Lightning playing November hockey and Florida played April hockey. And that part I hated.
Brian Engblom right there. And again, we invite you to listen noon to 1 all week on Power Lunch on Lightning Radio. Hey, Nick Paul is donating $150 to the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay for every point he records this season. Slide Insurance is generously matching each donation, making it $300 for every point scored going for mental health in Tampa Bay. We've got our friend Ben Pierce, Lightning reporter, with us right now. Ben, it's great to be with you. Do we have some news?
We do.
Coming right out of the gate here?
Official roster report from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Not only will we see Anthony Cirelli in the lineup tonight, he will be joined by Mitchell Chaffee for his first playoff game of the season. The Tampa Bay Lightning are going 12-6. Darren Radish will come out tonight.
So there was some speculation that would happen based off of the Panthers' forecheck and how they made the Lightning uncomfortable. Maybe that's not a complete surprise. Chaffee getting back in. Ben, we talked about this before. He added an element of physical play to his game after he sat for a few games. And maybe that's what John Cooper's looking for him to do tonight.
Well, we talked about it on this week's Into the Blue podcast. I said Mitchell Chaffee was a great show, especially that co-host, Ben Pierce. That guy's unreal sometimes, man. No, but for really, Mitchell Chaffee was a top 50 player this year in hits per 60, which is one of those minute stats.
Yeah.
But when he's out there, he's playing a physical game. And I know that Coop and the guys kind of downplayed the Florida physicality. It's playoff hockey. You expect that.
Yeah.
But what's the best way to match a good forecheck? A player who's speedy, who can get in on the forecheck fast and isn't afraid to play that body. And that's Mitchell Chaffee to a T.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of putting some of Florida's own medicine back at him.
You have to. You have to push back a little bit. Mish and I were talking about this earlier today on our show. The Lightning need to find a way to get to their game quicker than what we saw in Game 1. I know that's stating the obvious, but it really was noticeable. They really couldn't get to what they wanted to do in Game 1.
Right. And that's how you avoid those situations where, like we talked about last game, you're tied 1-1, and then there's the heartbreaker at the end of the period. The best way is not to have that happen. You're the team that's ahead 1-0 going into the early part of the period. So just start strong. Don't wait to see how the game comes out. They know now what to expect from Florida. You have to push the other way to start this game.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Ben Pierce, always a pleasure breaking it down with him. And speaking of Ben, he mentioned Into the Blue podcast with Gabby Shirley. They do that every week. New episodes drop every Thursday morning in your favorite podcast app and on the Lightning's Audio Network YouTube channel. Today, they broke down what it will take for the Lightning to win this series. Search Into the Blue in your favorite podcast app and hit subscribe. Can't wait to talk to these guys. Coming up next, the radio voice of the Lightning, Dave Mishkin, and the Hall of Famer, Phil Esposito. We're getting you set for Lightning and Panthers coming up in a couple of minutes on Lightning Radio.
At PNC Bank, the official retail bank of the Tampa Bay Lightning, we've always taken a boring approach to handling your money. Not only is it smart, it's reliable. And why would we ever want to be unreliable with anyone's money? Some of those customers could be big, tough hockey players who gladly give up their teeth for a win. Oh, that's going to hurt. But really, we just think boring is the smartest way to help ensure your money's there for exciting things in life. Like intentionally placing your body in front of a frozen rubber puck traveling at 100 miles per hour. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
The Bone, WHPT, Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete, and 107.3 WXGL HD2, St. Pete. The Bone is the official Tampa Bay Lightning radio station. The Stanley Cup playoffs on the Lightning Audio Network are presented by Advent Health.
Coach off! A brilliant goal!
It's time to be the Thunder.
Point, Hudson Crunch. What a move! What a move! What a move! Point! He wins it for the Lightning again!
Today's Stanley Cup playoff game, featuring your Tampa Bay Lightning, is presented by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Spectrum, a connection built for everywhere. That's life unlimited. That's Spectrum. And by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Pasternak going in the left wing. Angling in front. He holds. Shoots. Save Vasilevsky. The Lightning win it.
We're moments away from puck drop as we get ready for Lightning to strike.
Lightning hoping to strike tonight to even up this series at 1 apiece. Greg Linnelli with you, getting you set for Lightning and Panthers Game 2 momentarily. Let's bring in the guys calling the game tonight. Of course, the radio voice of the Lightning Day, Michigan, and the Hall of Famer, Phil Esposito. Phil, before Game 1, you told me and our audience special teams for sure was going to be a big deal in faceoffs. And the Lightning came up short in both of those.
Both. I think there were 10 faceoffs difference for the Panthers. And, of course, Panthers went 3 for 3 in a power play. I mean, those things you can't overcome.
Right.
And you've got to be taking care of that for sure. But that's been a trend all year as far as faceoffs is concerned. Not the penalty kill, though.
No.
Penalty kill has been pretty good all year.
They were off in so many areas in Game 1.
I don't know whether they can play any worse than. We haven't seen them play that bad since before Christmas.
Well, I think that the question that's as old as time is, when you play that badly, how much of it is you and how much is it the other team?
Yeah,
and did the Panthers force the Lightning to play that poorly, and will they be able to do it again?
Yeah, you're right, David. There's no doubt about it. You got to give the other team some credit. But I felt like the Lightning weren't really in it. Even when Getzel scored to tie it up, I didn't think that they were in it. There wasn't that get up and goal. You know, there wasn't any of that. And I mean, it's got to be better tonight. I don't think it could be any worse.
Well, Anthony Cirelli's in the lineup, and I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised based on the fact that he didn't skate this morning, and Coop just didn't really give an answer when he was asked about it, which is typical for the playoffs. But that's not the only kind of surprising news. The Lightning, for the first time since they played a game in Utah in late March, and for the second time, maybe since the deadline, I would have to go back and look, are going 12 forward, 6 defensemen. Now, if you ask me my opinion, if Cirelli is affected in some way, he's going to give it a go, but you want to have an extra forward in there. You don't want to be down to 10 if he is affected. But that means a defenseman has to come out, and it's going to be Darren Radish.
Which is a little bit surprising for me, too. But that's not surprising that he would dress the 3-4 lines all forwards because you go 12 and 6 because of Cirelli. Questionable, you know. You're not sure what you're going to get out of him, and so you've got to have that extra forward. So this is a wait-and-see moment. Do the Lightning come out and play like we've watched them play for a lot of games this second half specifically of the season? Or do they lay back like I thought they did in that first game? And it didn't seem like there was no one, except for like I said the other night, Nicky Paul seemed to me that he was one Lightning guy that was going in. Consalvas was the other guy that I thought played pretty well. So other than that, it wasn't a very good game for the Lightning, including Vasi.
In part because Gonsalves showed well, but also in part because they had the injury to Cirelli and they had to shuffle the lineup.
Right.
We saw Gonsalves playing with Point and Kucherov, and he was out there on the rated point goal and had an assist on that goal, and he is starting Game 2 with those guys. To the best of my memory, I don't think he played even one shift with Point and Kucherov during the regular season. At one point when Kucherov was out, I think he had some shifts with Point and Gensel. But I mean, that speaks to the confidence that the coaching staff now has in him.
The only thing I hesitate with Gonsalves playing with those two guys is that he might give up a great scoring chance to try to pass it to Kucherov for Point. When you tend to play with two really good players like those guys, and you're a rookie, you have that tendency to do that. I don't care whether it's your first game in the league or your 30th game in the league, you know. You do have that tendency until you say, hey, look, I'm a seasoned veteran now, and I don't know how many games he's played, David, over the course of the season, but he should be enough seasoned that he doesn't give up that opportunity to shoot it.
He's not backing down from any of these moments. Down the stretch of the regular season, his game continued to get better and better and better and better. You can see that he's playing with a lot of confidence. So one thing you said to me before we went on the air was you feel it's very important for the Lightning to, kind of following up on your last comment, not to pass up any opportunity to shoot the puck.
Absolutely. I think it's very imperative the Lightning shoot as many pucks as they can on the net and go for rebounds. This passing the puck around sometimes when you had a bad game, and they did, and I think they'll admit it. You have a bad game. What's the best way to go? Go offensive and shoot the puck, and go for rebounds, and see what happens. Well, anyway.
One of the other problem areas the Lightning had in Game 1 was coming out of their own end.
Yeah.
And the Panthers are very effective on the forecheck. They were very physical on the forecheck. There's no one answer to that. Sometimes, depending on where you are on the ice and what you see, you have to make a read. So sometimes it's a chip, sometimes it's a pass, sometimes it's off the glass, sometimes you can skate it out. But generally speaking, what can the Lightning do better to deal with the Florida forecheck?
You and I sit up here, and when we go to commercial or something, we say, why do they keep going back and passing it back to why not go forward, passing it back? But it's about puck possession is what I'm told. Well, that's probably true. In this day and age, in this game nowadays, everybody wants to have that puck possession. But the Panthers know exactly. They are sending two guys. They'll send the guy out who has the puck, and they send the other guy towards where he thinks he's going to pass it, which is usually behind the net or across ice to the other defenseman. And the Panthers are blocking it off and going there, and so you can't get it out quickly. You've got to move that puck quickly, or they're going to trap you on it. So we'll wait and see if that happens.
Andrei Vasilevsky in the net to our left in the first period. Lightning move left to right in their home blue jerseys, white number. Sergei Bobrovsky in the goal to our right. Panthers go right to left in the first in their road white uniforms, black numbers, red sleeves. One more game that Aaron Ekblad has to serve for his suspension. He would be eligible to return in Game 3. Greg and I were talking about this. I'm not sure. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen tonight, but Paul Maurice has 6 really good defensemen that he's using right now. And it'll be interesting to see who he pulls out for Ekblad in Game 3.
Yeah, and he's got a couple not even playing that played a lot during the regular season, too. So they got a lot of depth in that team. There's no doubt about it. And when they got Jones, that really solidified as far as I'm concerned. I think he's a heck of a player, that kid. And he's proven it.
So
they give up a good goalie, don't get me wrong. But
they did.
Yeah. They got
Spencer
a good
Knight.
Yes, sir.
So interesting. At the start of Game 1, the Panthers started the Barkov line. The Lightning counter with the Braden Point line. We were wondering about that with McDonough and Chernak. For Game 2, the Barkov line starts. The Lightning send out the Cirelli line. So we'll see if they go with that matchup here in this game. The season of Lightning hockey is presented by Advent Health, the official health and wellness partner of the Lightning. We do have time, Phil, for the officials.
Okay, the referees tonight, we have Pierre Lambert and Gordy Dwyer, and the linesmen are Devon Berg and Bevan Mills. Devon and Bevan.
Devon and Bevan.
We got the Devon and Bevan show.
All right, let's turn things over to Paul Porter.
Operation Desert Shield and Storm. In the years since, he served as a staunch and award-winning advocate for veteran services, assistance, and programs. Tampa Bay, please welcome and salute Staff Sergeant Larry Roberts. And now let's sing loud and proud with the voice of Bolts Nation, retired U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Sonia Bryson Kirksey, as she performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in our gay proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Game 2, Lightning and Panthers. The home team has had a good run of it throughout the NHL playoffs, this series being one exception, the Dallas-Colorado series being another. In that series, the road team has won 2 of the first 3, but a bunch of teams have started with 2 wins at home already in the playoffs.
A bunch of them have.
Toronto and Ottawa are going to be starting in half an hour for their Game 3 in Ottawa.
We got a lot of the Bucks here tonight.
Yeah, that's nice
the
to see.
offensive line.
Yeah. But the Lightning are looking for a split before the series heads to South Florida for Game 3 on Saturday afternoon.
Yep, and the Panthers were looking for a split also, and now they got a chance to have 2.
Yep. They're going to try and get greedy here.
Vasilevsky's over at the bench. It looks like maybe something with his mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Ugly stat line for Vasi in Game 1. 6 goals allowed on 16 shots.
Yeah, that's not Vasilevsky.
Many of them were guys wide open in front.
Wide open.
But still. All right, Cirelli and Barkov at center ice.
Here we go.
Game 2 from Amalie Arena underway. Cirelli wins the draw. McDonough hits Chernak up the right wing to the red line, dumps this in. Puck in the heart around for Cirelli, left circle. Jams it for Chernak, right circle. Chernak feeds it right corner. Hagel, a centering feed, skips through. Reinhardt trying to golf it out. Gensel a keep, left circle Cirelli. Good opening shift here for the Lightning. Cirelli directs a cross ice for Chernak for Hagee is there. Couldn't clear, held in Gensel. Right point shot blocked. Puck tracked by Barkov. Barkov slips for Reinhardt at center ice, turns it forward for Hagee, onside across the line, cuts in front and shot it over the net. That looked offside to me, but they said it was okay.
Yeah,
for Hagee, absolutely flattened by Hagel, which allows Chernak to get the puck for Nick Paul. He'll clear it. And it's alive for Hedman at center ice, across the Florida line. Walks in the left circle. Shoots, missed the net wide right. Rebound comes to Nick Paul, right point. Paul, a shot blocked. Paul on the rebound, right circle. Paul going to bust in front. Tripp put it in front. Shot over the net by Gensel.
Oh,
they're letting some hits go uncalled here early in the game.
Ever.
Puck played by Kulikov. Up the near boards for Anton Ladelli. Couldn't clear. Held in Nick Paul, right circle. Tremendous energy to start this game. Paul, left circle, Hedman. Back behind the net, Paul. Nick Paul to the left circle. Up to turn it for Geeky. Got taken away by Lois Turinen. Couldn't clear. Held in Hedman, left point. Banks it behind the Florida net. Bobrovsky bumps it to the far corner. Paul there. Strong chip, Nick Paul. Paul after the puck, left corner. Paul takes it behind the net. Stays with it. Looks to center it. Lois Turinen knocks it away, but grabbing it is Gage Gonsalves, right circle. Gonsalves a centering feed. Skips through. Brad Marchand will jam it out. Well, other than that, for Hagee chance off the rush, it's been all Lightning. Gonsalves back across the Florida line. Swerves to the right circle. High slide Geeky. Geeky checked. Geeky stays with it, left circle. Geeky holds. Centers at point!
Oh, he missed the net!
Backhander wide left.
Oh, wow.
Rebound, high slot Lilleberg, and now a penalty coming up. I mean, the Lightning have had 2 open nets, and they've missed both of them so far. Gensel and Point.
Oh, wow. I can't believe.
Florida penalty, 63, 2 minutes, slashing.
Marchand off for slashing.
I can't believe that. Was that Point that missed a wide open net there? It was. Great
Earlier
job by
Gensel.
Gensel.
Yeah.
Great job by Paul to get him the puck.
There's the Point one.
And then Point gets it. And
I mean, he had half of the net open,
yep.
but he was on his backhand. So the Lightning on the Tico power play, they were 1 for 3 in game number 1. Reinhardt and Gensel to the right of Bobrovsky. Won by Reinhardt. The puck is going to come toward Kucherov in the near corner. He couldn't get to it ahead of Barkov, who slams it down the near side of the length of the ice.
All that action, they never had a shot.
Well, 2 open nets they missed.
Yeah, that's true.
Hedman winds up in the power play, directs for Point. Braden Point zooming on the right wing at center, across the blind for Gensel, right circle. They'll crank it cross ice. Jones is there, and Jones clears.
Come on.
Down the ice it goes. 1:36 left in the Lightning power play. They've had a great start, but 0-0. Hedman, right wing, Jake Gensel at center ice. Directs for Braden Point. Point deals for Kucherov to the center ice circle. Across the blue line, right point Gensel. He'll bang it behind the net. Kucherov is after it, nudges it left circle Hagel. Directs it left point to Hedman. He'll rib it. Behind that, it's going to come to Kucherov, right corner. Kucherov check, delivers it to Jake Gensel, top of the right circle. Center point Hedman. Left circle Hagel. Brandon Hagel in front. Point, shoot, save made Bobrovsky. That was on net. Rebound is cleared by Sturm down the near side of the length of the ice. Minute to go in the power play. Lightning are getting guys open in front, though, early in this game. With no Radish in the lineup, McDonough, the D on the second power play. He'll drop it off Point, still out there. Braden Point on the right wing. Connects with Hagel.
Oh, no.
He almost lost it, so he just gives it away to Forsling, who directs it down the near side, the length of the ice. McDonough will play it for Gensel. Up the far boards, Gage Gonçalves back for Gensel, and now McDonough in the far corner. Under some pressure here. He'll slip it for Gage Gonçalves back for McDonough. 32 in the power play. McDonough slides for Gage Gonçalves. He'll skate it on the right wing at center. Couldn't get it across the blue line successfully. Kucherov regroups in neutral ice for Yanni Gourde. 20 in the power play. Gourde swerves to the center ice circle and fires it in. Bobrovsky does stop it behind his own net. A pass blocked by Gourde. Can Gourde hold this in? Jones is after it, though, and he makes a good play to win it and clear it down the far side of the length of the ice.
That was a good play by Jones.
Final few seconds in the Marchand minor. Panthers are going to get through the kill, so the Lightning throwing a lot at Florida early, but it's 0-0. Penalty up. Hedman got a feed from Hagel and hammers this in. Bobrovsky to play it around the near boards, and it's out of the zone. Hagel retrieves. Hagel slams it down the ice. It's going to be an icing.
Oh, boy.
So the Lightning were doing very well 5-on-5, but the power play may have actually taken away a little bit of their momentum.
Yeah, now we got a face-off deep in the Lightning zone. Looks like the Panthers are going to put it to the right of Vasilevsky with Barkov out there.
Yeah, somehow they haven't given the Lightning a shot. That tip from Point was definitely on net. They have the Panthers with a shot. I don't remember a Panther shot. The Verhaeghe one missed the net,
but I thought he missed the net too, Dave.
Barkov wins the draw. Reinhardt to the right point. Schmidt score!
See what I mean?
Unbelievable. Nate Schmidt, his third goal in the series, and another problem off a face-off for the Lightning.
Lose the face-off as clean as that. When you lose it as clean as that, there's no chance. And Reinhardt gets it. He passes it to Nate Schmidt, and Nate Schmidt just drills it. I mean, nobody's out there and drills it and beats Vasilevsky on the stick side. But no way. That was a face-off win, a nice face-off win by Barkov.
Well, everything has come up roses for the Panthers in the series. 2 open nets the Lightning had. They miss. An unforced icing, honestly, by the Lightning. They lose the face-off, and Schmidt fires it in. It's 1-0 Florida. Lightning still have not had a lead in the series. Puck played by Matthew Tkachuk in the forward end out to center ice. McDonough chops it for Chernak. Chernak at the red line, pumps this in. Tkachuk will deal for Schmidt in the far corner. Left wing, Uvis Polinskis. The center ice, Mackie Samoskevich. Coughs it up Chernak. His pass knocked down Bennett. That looked offside. Across the line, they say it's okay. Samoskevich is stripped by Point. Right in the near boards, Yanni Gourde. Reinhardt and Barkov assist on Schmidt's third goal in the series. McDonough up the middle point at center ice deflects it in. Not quite 5 minutes played in the first. 1-0 Florida. Here's Forsling behind the Florida net. Crowd quieted by that goal. Right side feed Seth Jones. Jones to center ice, connects with Reinhardt across the blue line right circle. Shoots, save Vasilevsky. Rebound Gergensons trying to clear. Beautiful play. Forsling knocked that down, holds it in. He'll crank it cross ice. Hedman will play it up the middle. It's out of the zone for Gergensons. He'll punch this into the forward end and chase. Gergensons after the puck in the right corner. Knocked to the ice by Forsling. Barkov deals that for Hagee at center. 3-3 up the middle. Across the blue line, right circle Jones. Takes a shot, save Vasilevsky. Rebound is loose. Holding it in, Nikola. Left point, left circle Reinhardt. Sam Reinhardt feeds it to the center point. It's played by Nico Sturm. Left point Nikola, left circle Sturm. Maneuvers for Carter Verhaeghe. Left circle. Verhaeghe in the offensive zone. A shot blocked. Hedman grabs. Hedman checked. Held onto it too long. Reinhardt for Verhaeghe. Left circle shot. Tip wide right. Here's Kulikov looking for Mikkola. Instead it comes to Sturm behind the net. He's broken up Hedman for Moser. Up to near boards. Oh, big elbow.
Big elbow right there.
Gergensons took the elbow from Mikkola. They didn't call it. Puck still in the Lightning zone, but Hedman's got it. Behind the net, Moser. Over 6 minutes played, 1-0 Florida. J.J. Moser winding up. Right side feed Emil Lilleberg to the neutral zone, and Gonsalves directs this in. Bobrovsky guides it around the far boards, held to Nick Paul left circle. Shoots, blocked. Rebound, Evan Rodriguez trying to turn it out for Schmidt. Nate Schmidt to center ice. Hammered by Lilleberg. He does dump it in. Gets a rise out of the crowd. Perbix by the Lightning net for Lilleberg. Nicely done. Up the near boards, Nick Paul safely out to center. Paul trying to muscle this forward to the offensive zone. He's checked by Anton Lundell, but Perbix has it back. Up the middle, Geekie. Geekie across the blue line, got checked to the ice. Good play, Lewis Arena, and Marchand will counter to the Lightning end. They'll lose Lilleberg. Marchand gets it back. Put it in front. Lundell tried to go cross ice. Lewis Arena and got tied up. Panthers passed out of a chance right there. At the right point, Seth Jones. For Marchand, right circle, misses the stick. Lewis Arena follows up. Directs it around to the near boards. Gage Gonsalves is there. Gonsalves checked by Forsling. Here we go again. The Lightning can't get the puck out. Lilleberg, on the left side, Geekie. Geekie takes a check, but delivers it out of the zone. Forsling knocks it down to the neutral zone. 1-0 Florida in the first. Forsling from the red line fires it in. There's a broken stick on the ice. Puck played up and out by Braden Point to center ice, and Yanni Gourde. There's Gourde firing this in on Bobrovsky. He'll glove it and take a whistle. And Kulikov gives Gourde a little shove. TV timeout. 1-0 Florida in the first on Lightning Radio.
Lightning fans, just like your favorite team on the ice, Jani-King delivers a winning performance every time. From offices to arenas, we clean businesses across the Tampa area with precision. Need a power play in your cleaning routine? Jani-King has you covered. Whether it's your office, restaurant, or retail space, we'll keep it spotless, just like Amalie Arena. Visit janiking.com to customize your cleaning plan today. That's JANIKING.com. And let's go Lightning.
Since 1889, the Tampa YMCA has been at the heart of our community, dedicated to inspiring health and well-being across Tampa Bay. Whether it's kids discovering their potential, families strengthening their bonds, or seniors embracing vibrant lives, the Y has been a beacon of support for generations. Join us today and be a part of something bigger. The Y, where history meets hope and every day is an opportunity to grow. Visit us at tampaymca.org. The Y, strengthening our community, one life at a time.
It's hockey season, Tampa Bay.
Shoot, score! What a shot!
And Chick-fil-A would like to invite you to feed hunger lightning fast with catering. Order one of your favorite Chick-fil-A catering trays for the whole family today and pick it up before the game. This season, spend less time worrying about meal prep and cleanup and more time sharing good times with friends and family. If winning game night is your goal, a Chick-fil-A catering tray is the right play for you. Order yours today through the Chick-fil-A app. Go Bolts!
Save it again by Vasilevsky!
Stay up to date on the Lightning every morning with the Daily Strike Podcast. Subscribe now in your favorite podcast app.
1-0. The Lightning trail the Panthers. A goal off a faceoff for Nate Schmidt. The Lightning came out guns a-blazing, but couldn't convert on two open net chances, nor on a power play.
No, you know that goal they scored, that's a perfectly set play. If Barkov wins the draw.
And you got the left-hand shooting defenseman on the right side for the one-timer. Back across the green. Barkov and Point to the left of Bobrovsky. Barkov toss over Hagee. He'll take it against point. .50-50 comes to Jones. Right side feed Reinhardt, pops it down the ice. Chernak trying to sweep it for Kucherov. Kucherov gets it, turns it up the middle. Gensel now to an open McDonough, 2-on-1 in the left wing, across the one left circle, shoots, blocked it away by Bobrovsky. McDonough looks to center it. It's grabbed by Kucherov, high slot, shoots, tipped wide right by Gensel. Right. Barkov up the near boards. Gensel blocks it right circle, tried to center it. Jones a steal. Left wing for Hagee. That's the first odd man rush I believe the Lightning have had in the series. Reinhardt off the dish, dumps it in. Here's Chernak regrouping by the Lightning net.
That's the first time, too, you've seen Kucherov with point in Gensel that time.
Yep. Pass from Chernak finds Nick Paul's stick at center ice. He'll lose Mikkola, who directs it in. Chernak flips it out. Puck bounces into the forward end. Eetu Luostarinen gobbles it up. A little feed up the middle. It is grabbed by Lundell. Right wing Kulikov to center ice, sends it in. First with the puck, Mikkola left corner. By the net, Eetu Luostarinen loses Gage Gonsalves. Can he clear it? Held in Kulikov right point. A pass comes back by the line net. Lilleberg will play it for Perbix around the near boards. Lundell blocks it. Anton Lundell looks to center it. It bounced off the stick of Marchand. Marchand again left circle. Twice the Lightning have had it. Twice they haven't cleared it. Luostarinen right corner. Right point Kulikov. A pass knocked down by Geekie. Can he chip it out? Yes. Puck is going to spin down the ice in on Bobrovsky, negating a potential icing. Still an area the Lightning have to get better, Phil, though. They can't give the Panthers 2 or 3 shots in the O-zone. Uwe Spolinskas to the red line, tosses this in. Hagel turns up the far boards and flips it out. Cirelli's going to skate onto this in the offensive zone. He'll track it left corner. Cirelli looks to center it for Gord. It gets blocked by Nate Schmidt. Schmidt up the far boards. Hagel couldn't get it away from Bennett. Mackie Samoskevich clears. Moser knocks it down and reverses it for Gord. Across the line, Yanni Gord, right circle Cirelli. Cirelli looks to make a play for Gord. Back for Cirelli, right circle, right point Moser. J.J. Moser. Center point Hedman, right point to Moser. Moser shoots, save made. The rebound is loose. It's going to bounce to Hedman, center point. Can he hold it in for Hagel? Yes, right circle Cirelli. Back for Hagel, left circle, skipped over his stick. Hagel then drops it, left point. Hedman couldn't hold it in. Comes out of the zone. Hedman slides for Moser, back up the middle Cirelli. Chips for Gord, hit a stanchion, tough break. Punching it out is Nate Schmidt to Bennett at center. Across the line, Jesper Boquist. A feed on the right side. Evan Rodriguez takes the shot, save Vasilevsky, no rebound. The Panthers come at Vasilevsky and the Lightning react. Got a TV timeout. We may have a penalty coming up here, or maybe one on each team. 9:58 left in the first. The Lightning trail 1-0. We'll keep it here until the red light goes on. The referee was pointing.
Both the Lightning guys came in a little late, I thought.
Yeah, TV timeout. 1-0 Florida in the first on Lightning Radio.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada. Hours may vary by location.
At PNC Bank, the official retail bank of the Tampa Bay Lightning, we've always taken a boring approach to handling your money. Not only is it smart, it's reliable. And why would we ever want to be unreliable with anyone's money? Some of those customers could be big, tough hockey players who gladly give up their teeth for a win. Oh, that's going to hurt. But really, we just think boring is the smartest way to help ensure your money's there for exciting things in life. Like intentionally placing your body in front of a frozen rubber puck traveling at 100 miles per hour. PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's hockey night in Tampa. Introducing Ford F-Series, the official truck of your Tampa Bay Lightning. Lighting the lamp with the power of a mobile generator, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board. Converting on every power play, the all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning. And the Enforcer Ford Super Duty. Ford F-Series, the official truck of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Follow the Lightning Audio Network on YouTube. Search Lightning Audio and hit subscribe.
Lightning are down 1-0 in the first. 9:58 left in the opening period. No penalties coming from that last post-whistle scrum. We'll get a face-off in the Tampa Bay end, though.
Surprising. Because there was a few cross-checks going on.
Rodriguez.
This face-off is coming to the left of Vasilevsky.
So the Lightning have swapped some of the lines. Gensel back with Point and Kucherov, and Gord is on the second line with Cirelli and Hagel. Reinhart and Cirelli. It's won by Cirelli, but McDonough couldn't get to the puck. Verhaeghe is after it. Verhaeghe turns it left circle. Reinhart. Left point Mikkola shoots. That was on net. Save Vasilevsky. Chernak slips it around to the far boards. Out of the reach of McDonough. Grabbing it is Kulikov right corner. Class-ice feed. Verhaeghe loses Chernak from McDonough. The far boards Hagel. Connects with Cirelli. They'll launch it out Gord to center. Gord is checked. Mikkola forces it back in. Cirelli will play it for Eric Chernak on the right wing. Right side Hagel at center. Slips it in. Here's Balinskis behind the net. Looking for Marchand. Gets it loose for Luostarinen. He'll toss to Lundell at center ice. Lundell is checked. Marchand follows up. He is checked, and Hagel will steal and chip this in. 9:08 left in the first. 1-0 Florida. Uvis Balinskis behind the Florida net. Holding onto the puck. Panthers go right to left in the first. Balinskis, right wing Nate Schmidt. Spins for Marchand. In the neutral zone, dumps it in. Took a hard check from Lilleberg. Nick Perbix, well, bounced this out. That was nicely done. Nate Schmidt regroups in the Panther zone. Left wing for Forsling. Up the middle, it is Luostarinen directing this in. Perbix on it by the Lightning net. Takes a check from Luostarinen. Lilleberg will spin it around the near boards. Gage Gonçalves, nicely done. He scoops it out. On the puck is Paul at center ice. Paul is bumped by Jones. Paul stays with it for Geekie. Squeezes free across the blue line to the left corner. Forsling is there, but he gives it up. Paul, left point Hedman. Shoots, blocked. Rebound gobbled up by Jones. Seth Jones 3-on-2, maybe up the middle at center. Across the line, Matthew Tkachuk left circle. Shoots, save Vasilevsky with the glove, and he holds on. Clock stop with 8:17 left in the first. Jones and Geekie jostle, and now Paul comes in. 1-0 Panthers.
Yeah, there's all sorts of these scrums after the whistle now. And I got to tell you, they're mostly initiated by the Lightning.
They're pushing the Panther players away from Vasilevsky. We have another broken stick on the ice. Didn't we have one in that exact same spot earlier?
Tkachuk